Oh. Oh, bye. How are we doing, guys? How's life today in the big DGG?
Do you want to eat tomorrow at the same time?
I think we're going out. I'm good. Yeah. Thanks. I love you. How's life going, guys? How you doing? You're gonna play. Are you gonna finish Factorial Community? You've never finished space exploration. True. Maybe I should finish that before we do literally anything else. We need another 500 hours. New Dyson Spare program update? Yeah, I saw that. You need to update the Destiny positions page? Well, the wiki is supposed to be like a stand-in for that, basically. You see the Colorado stuff? Yeah, apparently the Colorado Supreme Court struck down Trump being on the ballot, which means that, what does that mean? It goes to the district or the circuit courts next, and then from circuit courts to Supreme Courts? Is that how it works? Oh. Wait, how do you get to the district courts? Are the district courts before a state Supreme Court? There's no way, right? How long did it take for you to get to ideal Vyvanse dose between dose changes? I think you wait between 2 to 5 days to titrate up to, and you go on, I think 10 milligram steps is what the suggestion is. But if you talk to your doctor, they'll tell you what to do. Oh my God. I got a, I went to a new psychiatrist today. 30-day supply. He offered me 3 months of 60 milligrams Vyvanse. Oh, I feel good. I'm not worried anymore. I've got all my drugs, all those blue pills. Oh. Oh. Thank God. 10 milligram step seems like a drastic increase. For Vyvanse, I don't think it is that much. Finally going to appeal to the Supreme Court? Yeah, of course they are. Jeez. Typically, people appeal to district courts, but Trump went directly to the Supreme Court. Same with the other Trump case about presidential immunity. I mean, that makes sense, right? This is going to the Supreme Court, right? If they didn't get the answer they wanted from the district court, they would go to the Supreme Court anyway, right? And how is the Supreme Court going to rule? Or the district court going to rule, right? You saw Piers and Crowder debate freedom of speech? Nope. What do you think about Trump choosing Vivek as his running mate? Yeah, that's no shot did that happen. What drugs do you consume currently? Like recreationally or therapeutically? Who do you think his running mate will be? I truly have no idea. Is it even possible to do Vyvanse recreationally? I mean, you could, I guess, but not. People don't usually like abuse Adderall XR or Vyvanse. I think you'd be more likely to abuse Adderall or I don't know if you abuse Ritalin, methylphenidate. I don't know what people do. If you're talking about just like getting high and feeling good, I think people don't typically abuse extended release drugs. Oh, people are saying you could snort it. Oh, I've never tried that before. I guess maybe you could. But even so, like, would you really illegally buy Vyvanse and snort it instead of just getting like either cocaine or just meth? I don't know enough about like recreational uses of Vyvanse or Adderall XR to know, I guess. Wait, I don't think, could you really snort Vyvanse? Can you talk about the entrepreneurial aspect of your growth? Like how many people you employ? What are their roles? How do you gauge growth? Do you have KPIs for your channels? Bro, I just go live and I just stir shit up every day. That's all I do, okay? You can snort all stimulants easily. Pretty sure that's not true. I'm not sure if you could snort Adderall XR or Vyvanse because they're slow release. Like for Vyvanse, the only way for your body, like your body can't do anything with a lisdexamfetamine. It doesn't do anything in your body. It literally it does nothing. But once your liver digests the lysine part, then your body can use the dextroamphetamine. But until that gets processed in your liver, it doesn't do anything. Even if you inject it right into your brain, I don't think that lysine attachment I think makes it like not do anything. That's what a prodrug is. A prodrug is like I think psilocybin might be a prodrug too, where it has to get eaten or it has to get processed in I don't know if it's always your liver or other parts of your body, but until the body processes it or removes stuff from it, then the active stuff can be utilized by your body. Is it for Psilin? I think is the drug, or psilocin, because I think psilocybin I think is also a prodrug, I think. And then your body turns it into psilocin, and then that's what goes into your brain. And ooh. What is the effect of snorting it? What would stop you from trying it? Does the delivery method really matter? I like drugs, but injecting and snorting is scary to me, perhaps illogically. I'm going to guess, and I don't know fuck all what I'm talking about because I don't do snorted drugs, but I'm pretty sure people snort drugs because when you snort it, I think it's because of the proximity of like when it goes into your lungs and like all the blood vessels and everything, blah, blah, blah. You basically get high way quicker. I think more of it goes to waste, like the bioavailability might be lower, but the high is almost instantaneous. That's why when people snort, I'm pretty sure you get high very quickly, I think. If you do like cocaine and shit, I don't know, right? I don't know, fuck. How high? It should be, I think it's almost, I know that like poppers, for instance, like almost instantaneous. Yeah. Someone said within 3 to 5 minutes. I thought it was within seconds, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Just wanted to show support. I'm from Avon Peach. Just wanted to say your pushback and start pills really helped me in a journey as a man. Oh, cool. Adderall XR works by the beads surrounding the coating. Adderall XR is just Adderall IR coated in 2 different things. People crush XR and snort it, and it's the same as if you snorted normal Adderall, I'm pretty sure. That might be true, but you can't just open the capsule. You would have to crush the actual Adderall, the beads. You have to crush the beads to expose the amphetamine inside, I think. But also, why would you abuse prescription stimulants? Why wouldn't you just do like cocaine? Is there a reason for this? Am I crazy? For a normal person, does taking Adderall also help with productivity? My understanding is the research on that is limited, but I believe the answer is no. I think if you're an ordinary person and you take a stimulant, the last study that we saw was if you have a neurotypical brain and you take a stimulant, it will cause you to answer questions quicker and more eagerly, but I believe your correct answer rate actually decreases and you have less so your productivity decreases. But That was like a study of like I think like n equals 40, and it was just like one thing I saw. But it's probably hard to study this because like giving neurotypical people a Schedule 1 drug, Schedule 2 drug, no, it would be Schedule 2, right, with side effects is probably, I don't know how often you can study that. Why do you take Vyvanse over Adderall? Honestly, because I heard Vyvanse was newer and cooler, so I was like, fuck it. But the Adderall XR worked really well for me too, to be honest. Yeah. Do you think you and Ben Shapiro would debate Israel Palestine? I have no idea. Hopefully it's all over Biden shit. Pokemon admitted she scammed her cookies. What is this stupid fucking tweet? What? This looks... Is this fake? Hey, hope you're doing well. I'm launching my first ever product next month and would love to have you be among the first to try it. If you're interested, please fill this up by Monday. They're just some stupid cookies I repackaged and I'm selling at like 10x the price, but my fans are stupid AF, so they'll buy them anyway. They taste pretty good at least. Time to get rich off stupid little girls and simps again. Do people actually believe this? It's from the Dream video? Oh, gotcha. I haven't watched the Dream video. Oh, I see that Mo has all of a sudden discovered his political roots. I saw this stupid fucking... I don't know why I posted so much. It was just fucking funny. The Palestinosaurus Rex lived there 8 million years ago, guys. They were always there. This is dumb. You're trying to be edgy when there's hundreds of kids dying every single day. We're talking about kids younger than your own. As a father, ooh, you should at least have the decency to not talk shit. If you want actual history in the lane here. Oh, actual history. And he links the fucking Vox video. Bro, kill me. Come on. Seriously? What a dog shit video. Oh, I haven't read these. Mo, the guy's been researching the history violently without stop for months on end in 15-hour stream sessions. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. 15 hours every day, boys. And still isn't stopping. I'm pretty sure he knows more about the history than you and all the Twitter sphere combined. One random ass YouTube video is hilarious. This video chronicles my family's displacement in Palestine, my actual family. With that being said, history or not doesn't take away from the killings that are happening every day to innocent children, so try shutting the fuck up. Let's take history out completely. I'm okay with that. I'm talking about the genocide. How can anyone be okay with that and make jokes? I don't even care for the illegal settlements that show the true intentions of the Israeli government. Okay. How are we doing today, guys? Are there any other safe stimulant drugs out there that work significantly better than, say, coffee, for example? Well, hold on, let me check. What does coffee hit? Or what does caffeine hit? Caffeine acts by blocking the binding of adenosine. It has an A1 receptor, which enhances the release of the neurotransmitter. Acetylcholine. I don't know what this shit is. I imagine that any CNS stimulant is going to increase like certain cognitive and cardiovascular functions, I think, for like a CNS stimulant. But just because it's a CNS stimulant doesn't mean it's going to have the same effect or hit the same receptors as an amphetamine, right? These are like two different things. Like you can't take like a fuck ton of caffeine and it gives you the same effect as taking an amphetamine because it's different. Different stuff. Or were Tim and Melina saying about you in Swedish? Well, apparently, I don't speak Swedish, so I guess we can never know. Adenosine is the byproduct of ATP. High adenosine equals you used ATP, so you're tired. Caffeine blocks adenosine binding. It just inhibits the signal that tells your body you are tired. Huh. I heard if you have ADHD, coffee makes you sleepy. I don't think that's true. Do we want to talk about veganism real quick? I need to stop typing in chat. That's what I need to do. Okay. I'm irritated by a couple things. One thing I'm irritated about is that my ex-wife has reached out to a ton of people. At least, I'll say at least 5 mutual friends have alerted me. I have no idea how many other are affected. Basically saying that I've lied about a ton of stuff and that I am abusive. Where I guess abusive means I've lied before. Or cheated. That's like what abusive means now, I guess. Which is chill. You know, I'm cool with that. Sometimes we roll that abusive lifestyle. Yeah. That's so it's a little bit annoying that every single person that Melina talks to, and then every single person Tim talks to, and then every single person that these two people talk to are basically being told that I'm like an abuser and a liar and just like all sorts of other like insanely unhinged shit is a little bit, I'd say a little bit annoying. That's one thing that's irritating. And the second thing that's irritating is I don't like being called a liar, okay? Maybe I shouldn't have leaked anything the first time when I got upset. I probably shouldn't have because I should have waited longer and typed out something more formal. I probably shouldn't have. But yeah, I would, I don't know why, I don't know why you would call me a liar over, yeah. Yeah. Does she actually weaponize therapy? Melina weaponizes everything. I remember we got into a fight in, Vegas because Tim was spamming her phone saying, if you want to raise kids, you can't do it in a poly relationship or with an American. just random shit. And I'm just like, why are you arguing with this person about this? This is retarded. And then we got into a huge fight over this. And I remember one of the things she says to me in the fight, she's like, are you even on your fucking meds today? Maybe that's why your mood is so fucked. I'm like, damn. Melina, you're going in. I don't think she meant it. I think she was just trying to find shit to like fuck with me, but it was a good insult. I'll give it an 8.5. Jesus. Who do the mutual friends believe? So one of the issues, let me say this right now, okay? You're not getting a massive fucking manifesto right now, okay? Because I need to organize thoughts, figure out what I want to say, what I don't want to say. Because I don't want to just like leak all the fucking details of my relationship, if for no other reason, because it's just dumb and it makes everybody look bad and it's just stupid. Like I don't need to go over all of it. But just like a little update, I guess, on where my brain is at. Somebody asked, who do the mutual friends believe? I think prior to a few weeks ago, I think most of the mutual friends kind of believe Melina, because there's this like really irritating trend where, and listen, I say this to everybody, okay? If you don't believe me, okay, I don't know why I'm saying it to you guys though, because you don't have access to these people. It's like, if you don't believe me, go talk to other people, fuck it, okay? And I have messaged people, I have asked people, do you feel this is accurate? Do you feel this is true? The issue is that, let me invent a story. This is truly invented. It didn't happen. There's no resemblance of reality here, okay? Let's say that like I'm sleeping and Mel comes into the bedroom and she has an air horn and she thinks it'd be a funny prank to like press the air horn, okay? Let's say that she does that and it wakes me up and I get so irritated. I wake up, I just slap her. I'm like, fuck. And then I chill for a second. I'm like, sorry. And then she's upset. And then I'm upset and we argue, and then we separate, okay? Let's say theoretically, let's say this event happens, okay? The way that this would work, okay, this isn't like tongue-in-cheek, I'm completely making sense, but like, to demonstrate a point, the way that this would work is, if I was complaining to a friend about Melina's behavior, this is what I would say, okay? I would say, Melina is super upset. She woke me up with an air horn, okay? And it super triggered the fuck out of me. And I hit her, and I absolutely shouldn't have. That was stupid. I understand why Melina's upset, but like the air horn shit like triggered the fuck out of me, okay? But like, yeah, I mean, obviously I probably shouldn't hit her, right? This is how I tell basically every story involving me and Melina's problems to every single mutual friend, and it has been for the history of our relationship. When Melina tells a story to a mutual friend, Melina will say, yesterday I played a harmless prank on Steve and he hit me for absolutely no fucking reason. And I think he always like harbors these feelings against me. I don't know why the fuck he would hit me. I don't even know if I feel safe here anymore. It's horrible. That's how Melina tells stories. So for the history of our relationship, every single mutual friend will get like I try to give like the most balanced I can. And then for Melina, it's like the most one-sided, unbelievable collection of facts. It's just like unreal. So the problem is that when Melina goes and talks to mutual friends about things, and then I talk, Melina always sounds like the good guy, because like I'm trying my best to do both sides, and she's just dumping on me. Yeah, so it's just like, it's very fucking annoying. Now that I've had like way more time, I say way more time, it's like 2 weeks or 10 days, 12 days. Now that I've had like more time out of things, and then I'm looking back on things, and then when I review things with friends, I can see that this like pattern has been so strong and so unbelievably like transparent in the different approaches to things that it's just like the most wacky shit in the world. Sorry, so today my shit was delayed. Like I said, has she done this with you about other people? Yes, Melina does this to everybody. One of the things that I complained to the therapist about, I also make these complaints to Melina, but Melina never acknowledges any fault or wrongdoing with anything, which is frustrating. But one example of this was like Darius, for instance. Melina was 100% unequivocally wrong and exaggerated / lied about everything having to do with the Darius situation. But because it ended up in a place where she didn't like, she emotionally rewrote the entire history of their interactions to make it seem like Darius was like a clingy, abusive fucking loser the entire fucking time. I won't go into too many details of that because, like I said, I don't want to like, I have to figure out like which stories are relevant, like, because I don't want to do this whole like, oh, I'm spilling everything. I just want to have like this, I just want to fight two really widespread impressions that really bother the fuck out of me. One is that like I'm this horrible, abusive, one-sided, terrible person that Melina like escaped. Okay, number one. And number two is I don't know how many people now have heard insane things about me behind the scenes now, because holy fuck, when I talk to some people and I'm like, have you heard this story? And they're like, yeah, isn't this when you did that, and that? And I'm like, is that all you heard about this? That drives me crazy. And then 3, I don't like the fact now that Mel and Tim are on their streams, like basically saying I'm lying about things, which is also driving me crazy. It's like, I'm not lying about it. Why would I lie about anything related to our lives that is so easily verifiable? I would be so stupid to tell lies about these topics that you've told everybody about because everybody knows them. Tim is the meme text guy or whatever. Yeah. You do give off low-key abusive partner vibes. Yeah, I do that because of the way that I talk about my relationship and the way that I express myself on stream. The reality is I'm a complete fucking pushover on every part of my fucking life. Well, no, that's not true, actually. I'm not anymore. I just was in my relationship, but that's done. Thank God. Okay? Holy shit. Would you say this is largely a Mel thing, or do you think this is a meme ticks guy thing? I don't know how much I'll get into that, but one thing I will say that mindfucked me for a long time is I think almost every single initial read that I had of Melina was incredibly accurate, and I'm very upset that I let so many people push me off of what were really strong gut feelings about my wife that I spent 5 years with. I know who this person is. I think Melina is incredibly intelligent. I think that like the Tim guy, and we might get into this more, I think he is like an abuser or manipulator, but Melina has all the power in that relationship. And in retrospect, I see like how everything works, and everything makes so much more sense. When I go back with like my initial gut feelings and everything, now I understand everything. But in this other world where I have to say like, oh, like this is happening, blah, 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 I have to like, I'm being very vague on everything. Sorry, fuck. I have to put together, I'll put together more, I'll put together something in terms of what I want to say on that. Yeah, fuck. Has this shifted your perspective about the Bob 7 stuff at all now? No, Bob 7 was also a piece of shit who was talking mad shit about me behind the scenes. I don't even know to this day if I've ever publicly revealed why I knew he was talking so much shit about me, but it wasn't all through Melina. There was a lot of stuff that I knew he was saying about me behind the scenes. So it wasn't even all Melina on that. Destiny, this is giving me I am such an empath vibes. Usually people who say they are pushovers in a relationship are the ones doing the pushing. I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000,000%. And listen, if at the end of the day you don't believe any of the shit I'm saying, then go for it. Knock yourself out. I don't, listen, yeah, believe what you want. Didn't we know the Bose means? It was more than that. It was people that were never brought up even. Yeah. The thing that I'm trying to skirt the line right now on, because I know like a year from now, or actually a couple months from now, why did you let Darius get dragged if he wasn't lying about the Mel situation? Because it just wasn't. I usually don't intervene in other people's shit when it's personal because I don't want to drag like personal stuff. Like I argued with Mel behind the scenes, and I think I talked to Darius behind the scenes. But when two people are fighting personally, like if Erudite and someone else, or like Nick and somebody else had a fight, like I'm not gonna sit here and bring out like the private, like, well, didn't you say this privately? That's just not my place to do it. It's not. I never feel like it's my place to do it. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Does the therapist know about that trait, talking shit to other people and Mel? Yeah, of course. It was one of the huge things that would come up over and over and over again. But she always had like an excuse for everything. I'm just trying to think of like where I want to, because there's just like one or two quick things I wanted to run over, and then I'll probably do a more comprehensive thing. Why do you think that she isn't going to leak or talk shit? Melina will not leak or talk shit about any of this because she knows that everything about this makes her look like a fucking satanic demon. She knows that. She's threatened it a million times. Like, I'm going to start leaking everything. Oh, yeah, let's go. Okay. If you really want to, holy fuck. Because my reputation is already zero in regards to our relationship. Everybody thinks I'm a horrible fucking piece of shit. We want to start leaking shit. We can do it. She knows that she looks horrible, though. And her reputation has always been spotless insofar as, like, relationships is going. Like, she knows that. That's why her and Tim were like, wow, we're going to talk about it. We're ready. No, you're not. You're going to fucking say shit. You know you're not. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. The only things that I want to do, though, is I want to make sure that, like, I don't want to be thought of as a liar. That irritates me. I don't like the idea that the impression is that, like, I'm an abusive person. And I want to give, like, a very broad accounting of, like, things that have happened because I don't like the impressions that exist of me, like, relating to a lot of this stuff. But what I have to, like, be careful about is I don't want it to be, like, I hate Melina, which I do, by the way. Fuck that bitch. She has everything that's coming to her. Thank God. But I don't want it to be like, because I hate her, now we're leaking 6 hours of, like, our private life to make her look bad. That's not, like, my goal. And that's not even for her. Fuck her. I don't care about it. It's just, it reflects poorly on me. And it's not, like, the character that, I don't think it's becoming of, like, high character. Yeah. So I have to, like, sort through, like, what I want to do on that. If you say that Melina was scheming, why did you want to briefly hold on to the relationship last week? So, what am I looking for? God, fuck. Just making sure I'm not, like, end up saying something I don't want to ever elaborate on later on. What happened over the last couple of days? So, fuck. What am I? What made you believe Melina over Darius when they had their drama? Did you just take Melina straight at face value? What? No, I never believed Melina. That's why I didn't say shit about it publicly. I don't have shit to say. I let them fight over it. That was also their fight, too. Yeah, fuck. Fuck. Oh, God, I shouldn't have said anything. No, I guess. Basically, okay, so here's, like, I'll give you this is, like, the really, really broad macro, and then I'll figure out how I want to, like, talk about this. Because it's probably, when I do this, it's going to be, like, there's going to be, like, an hour or at the most talk. And then I'm moving on from this, okay? This isn't going to be some huge back and forth fucking leak war. But something that I've said is that for a long time, because of my background and everything, I try to assume all the responsibility for everything, because if there's a problem and I can't fix it, then I just say, fuck it, okay? In some ways, it's really beneficial for work. In some ways, it's really not beneficial, like personal relationships, because sometimes it's hard for me to assign accountability, or it's hard for me to realize, like, okay, well, I'm putting in, like, 99% of the effort here, and they're putting in 1%. Like, I need more. This is not, like, a equitable exchange of who's trying to make, like, a particular thing work. That was a huge problem that I ran into with Melina. The two things that I was, like, balancing my head on trying to balance my head was either, like, Melina is, like, this really kind of, like, toxic, manipulative, like, piece of shit who's, like, super self-centered and is, like, actually about as smart as I thought she was, and is, like, really good at kind of, like, aiming in intelligent directions and being, like, manipulative and doing things, like, for reasons that make sense. Or on the other end, she's just, like, she's still growing. She's, like, emotionally developing. Some other person is, like, kind of fucking with her mind a lot and, like, confusing her on a lot of things. And she just needs time to, like, sort stuff out. And she's just kind of, like, easy to take advantage of for blah, 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 blah. So I was kind of, like, rotating between these two worlds. I think on December 7th, Melina and I had another conversation here. And that conversation ended horribly. I was beyond fucking triggered. And I told her she had to pack her shit and get the fuck out. By the time I got home on the 9th, she needed to be gone with all of her shit. I didn't want to see her again. I needed her to get the fuck out. So that was the night that I started. I had a short conversation with her in DMs. Fuck. One of the things I hate the most is that, like, Melina is so smart what she's trying to be. And I give her props for it, okay? I am fucking unhinged, okay? That night on the 7th, I'm literally, like, I'm off, okay? I'm completely gone at the seams. And then I start DMing her, and these are rough DMs, okay? I'm like, you fucking selfish fucking piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And all of her responses to me are, like, really cold, pretty loving, in like a cold, detached way, very logical. And she's also like denying some things that like she's fessed up to in the past. And I'm just like, fucking, fuck you. You obviously don't fucking blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm like, I remember thinking at the end of this conversation, I'm like, this conversation looks unhinged. I look like a fucking crazy person. But whatever. You know, we do that shit. I don't want to go to sleep because I don't even want to fucking see her. And then I start like typing shit in chat, which I shouldn't have because I was stupid. I just start like typing shit, leak shit. I shouldn't be saying anything because I should take time to calm down and blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards, I fly off to, where do I go? I go to LA to hang out with a friend. And then I do 2 shows. What am I doing? I'm doing Jubilee and I'm doing that Whatever podcast. And while I'm there, I've got like, I think 2 days separation between us. At this point, for the first time in my life, now I'm soliciting feedback from a ton of people to try to like adjust like my priors and try to figure out like what the fuck is going on, blah, blah, blah. At this point, I send like a huge apologetic message to Mel saying, listen, I shouldn't have leaked anything at all. I understand I make your life difficult right now. I'm being really unhinged. I think she had me blocked on all the socials at this point, so I passed the message through Nino. I'm like, listen, like, I understand you can keep me blocked for as long as you need. If you want to reconnect or chat, we can like figure things out, or not, like whatever you're comfortable with. I understand, blah, blah, blah. That was like my message to her. Then I came back to the US and then I had a meeting with Stacy, our therapist, because I'm trying to figure out, like, I can't tell because Melina always tells me, like, I love you, I'm trying to work on this, let's do what we can, blah, blah, blah. And then all of our mutual friends are like, no, Melina loves you. Melina really does. She's trying to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, man, a lot of the actions make that really hard to believe. And it's like, well, that's because you've been so mean to her. It's like, okay, well, she does like a lot of really fuck shit. Yeah, but that's because of you. And it's like, okay, maybe, but like some of this is really hard to explain. Well, that's because of 5 years of trauma. It's like, okay, maybe, I guess, right? So, okay. So I talked to Stacy and Stacy's like, yeah, like you should aim for this outcome instead of like fucking everything up and then doing this outcome. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. I have like a 3-hour meeting with her. I have like a 2-hour call with a friend. And I have my shit ready to go. I already had the manifesto made. I have already got everything typed. I'm ready to go. I typed it the night that on the 7th when I told her to get the fuck out. I already had everything put together. And then I come home and I look at it. I'm like, okay, fuck me. Take a deep breath. She's still your wife. Let's chill. And then I do the cuck stream. Okay. Come on. And I say, I shouldn't have leaked anything, which is true. I shouldn't have because I wasn't like in the right headspace for it. I say I shouldn't have leaked anything. We chill. Yeah. And I think I just basically like apologetic. I leave the door open. You know, if Melina wants to connect again, that's fine. Blah, 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 blah. And then I stop. And then we go stream. We do whatever. After this, I noticed a few passive aggressive, I think tweets or something from Melina. If you guys ever wonder why I have such good relationship advice, because I know every mistake to make and I make all of them simultaneously. So obviously I've created dummy social media accounts to follow everything just to see what's going on. Obviously. Okay. Yeah. I know all the unhealthy tricks. Okay. Because I do them. Okay. So yeah, I'm following to keep tabs on everything. Well, let's see what are we tweeting about? What are we storing about? And I see like a few, passive aggressive messages like, man, feels so good to be back in fucking. I'm like, okay, whatever, bitch. Okay. But that's fine. I say my piece. It's whatever. We do my birthday party thing. I'm chilling. Okay. No happy birthday from Mel. Stings a little bit, but you know, maybe she doesn't remember my birthday. It's all good. And then I think I'm chilling. I'm okay at this point. I left Mel in a good spot. I go to stream, and I think we're just streaming. I've got like friends that are coming over. Everything's cool. And then we start rolling. And this is when I find out a lot of people start messaging me things. And then I'm getting like messages from things that she's saying to other people. And these messages are like, I'm so fucking glad I got out of there. I never fucking want to go back to this horrible fucking blah, blah, blah. I realized how much of an abuser he is. And he was always like this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm seeing some of these messages. And this was in response to the cuck stream I did, where she was like, he shouldn't have even done anything. And I can't believe that he even fucking went live again and tried to make everybody sympathetic for him. I'm like, the fuck? And then after this shit, I start getting it. I'm like, okay, hold on. Do you remember when Sansa says to Littlefinger, she's like, she uses his game against him. She's like, sometimes when people, whatever, I like to play a little game or whatever to like assume the worst intentions. So then I like go back and like, okay, let's pretend that like my original hunch on how Mel was moving for the past 2 months, what if that was like actually true? And then when I go back and I retrofit on everything, every single action that I thought she was doing for a particular reason, everything makes sense. I'm like, fuck me for letting every person talk me out of this initial assessment of things where, because then I realized like, fuck, I'm still being kind of vague. I'll figure out how much I want to say with this in a future thing. Sorry. I'm just getting to today. Past all of that, once I see that now she's like reached out to God knows how many people, even the therapist. No, I'm not going to argue with my therapist. But yeah, once I see that she's reached out to God knows how many mutual friends, who the fuck? No, everybody in Sweden probably thinks I'm like an abusive, horrible piece of shit. And I'm like, okay. I don't even know. What do I do past this point? Let's see. That would have been 14th, 15th. What have we done the past few days? I think I just stream. I think I feel good again. I feel good after I see those messages. Oh, I remember what I do. I see those messages. And as soon as I see that, I think it was on the 13th, I'm like, okay, fuck this. Run to the attorney and I say, divorce papers, print them up. And then, I tell Mel, these need to be signed by Monday, end of day, or shit is going to get catastrophic. We're done. Sign the shit, get me the fuck out of here. So that's what happens in the background for that. So we do, papers are signed, notarized, all that shit. And then papers are filed, court accepted everything. And then the next, let's see. I'll say that today, Melina reaches out to me for the first time in like 10 days, okay? 12 days, okay? Because she's blocked me on everything. And now she's like, oh, we should talk. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. We hop into a call, and I think like the first thing I say is like, listen, if you want to argue or have a chat about anything, that's fine. However, one of the things that, okay, let me give this piece of advice to people, okay? And I fully admit I might just be really Death Note brained or debate brained or attorney brained or internet drama brained, or I don't know, okay? So I'm giving you this warning, okay? I'm giving you this warning for this piece of advice, okay? I'm so tired in my life of people weaponizing feeling statements against me, and I'm so fucking tired of friends both sidesing our disagreements, because a lot of the disagreements that me and Melina will have or have had historically are statements of fact. There is no room for disagreement here. And I hate how many people will say things like, well, I understand you said this, but she feels this way, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we're not arguing about a feeling right here. This is like a true or false fact. I don't understand how we're having a both sides perspective on this, okay? Record shit, log shit, have shit. Don't let people do that to you, okay? Don't let fucking, and I'm not even saying they're gaslighting. They're just trying to be understanding of both sides. But like, it is important to establish like a fact pattern before you develop like narratives and feelings and opinions on them, okay? That's really important. I've gotten a lot better at that, especially over the past 2 weeks. Holy shit. Well, in regards to my relationship. For everything else, obviously, I'm fine with this. But just in my relationship, I was like super blinders on for this. But yeah, so basically, Melina reaches out to me. We have a call, and she basically tells me that I owe her for money for her apartment. And that if I want to do what's moral, because I made her leave the United States and pay to fly all of her shit back, that I should pay her like $100,000. And I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. And the way that this conversation starts is, this is the funniest thing. Initially, she'd like sent this message through a mutual, and then I responded back, and I was like, oh no, like maybe Tim can get a job, and you guys can, work for this money, good luck. I was very passive aggressive. I admit that. I sent a really nasty message when she asked me for that. Just to be clear, it was like, hey, remember you told me you don't care about the money, you don't care about my help, you don't care about me doing taxes, you don't care about any of that shit. All you want is somebody to cuddle with you for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, there you go. Now you got it. Good luck. Figure it out. I'm sure you guys will. Power of love will, help you with your paperwork. 100%. Okay, because that's the only thing that matters. Remember, it's the only thing that matters in life. I was super passive aggressive in that message, but then when the call starts, Melina's like, this call starts. She's like, I just want to know where you're at, and I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I want to know where you're at because of that message you sent 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, well, I'm at the message that I sent 1 hour ago. And yeah, we argue for a bit about this. And then it's just like a 40-minute call of, and now that I've like grown into like Neo when it comes to our relationship, now I can see like every single lie and every single like pivot and every single attempt, like every single thing. I'm like, well, do you have a log for that? Or can you prove that? Or can you show that this happened? Because I have a whole bunch of stuff that says the exact opposite. And it was just like lie after lie after lie for things that I've let her lie about in our entire relationship that drive me fucking insane. And it felt good. It felt good to pick the bullets out of the air. Again, I'm not going to like dive into like everything, but I'll say, for instance, one thing, because this was kind of public already. Something that I've said about Melina is that Melina emotionally rewrites everything. So, for instance, so now when she talks to people about me, I've always been an abuser. I've always been a horrible person, blah, 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 blah. She emotionally rewrites the history with everybody based on her current state, or she'll rewrite the facts based on her current emotional state. So one of the things Melina starts telling me is like, you owe me this because I abandoned all of my stuff in Sweden for you. And it's not fair that like I moved to the US and gave up so much and I abandoned so much in Sweden for you. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You abandoned New Zealand for me. And she's like, no, I abandoned Sweden. I couldn't go back after I blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, you hated Sweden and you abandoned New Zealand. And I know this. And then I start pulling logs from the first year of our relationship, because the first year or two of our relationship, all of the fighting was over her not wanting to leave New Zealand and hating Sweden and then having to come to the United States. And there are so many logs of that. There were even logs when she went back to Sweden. She's like, I fucking hate it here. I hate fucking Sweden. It's such a horrible place. And then when we would fight, she'd be like, I can't believe you pulled me away from my dream place of New Zealand. And she's like, well, that's not true. I married you so that we could be together in the United States. I was like, Melina, you were engaged to a guy in New Zealand 2 weeks after you went down there, okay? Everybody thinks that like I cucked her out of Max or whatever. Melina was engaged to another guy, and then she also was dating Max. There's a whole other guy that was involved there. I don't know if he ever gets brought up, by the way, but whatever, run with your assumptions. But yeah, I was like, Melina, you got engaged with this guy immediately so that you could live in New Zealand forever. And that's what we always fought about. And she was trying to say that you pulled me away. So I was like, bro, you never liked Sweden. You're like, this is a new thing that you've decided because now you've got like a new group of friends in Sweden, and now you're going to say that like you've loved Sweden the whole time and I like fucked you out of it, blah, 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 blah. But that's like, yeah, that was just like one example. It was like 45 minutes of her trying to lie. I would say probably gaslight. I think it's accurate here. She's trying to make me misremember events so that she can manipulate it for her purpose, so that she can like win an argument. But I'm just like, at every point, I'm like, well, do you have a log for this? Well, can you show me this? Do you have any proof for this? Because I've got a bunch of stuff that says the opposite. And then we've got a third party in the call, and she's like, well, what do you think about this? Like, shut up, Steven. Don't shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And obviously the other third party is like, well, I don't know. Like, Melina, do you have like a log or anything else or whatever? And then Melina's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Clearly he's made up his mind. And I'm like, okay. She says that like 50 times. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. This is clearly over. And I'm like, okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Unreal. Unbelievable shit. What was I thinking of? Yeah. And then her conversation is like unhinged. She's like, this is why she's like, you surround yourself with people that just suck up to you all day, and nobody challenges you on fucking anything, and you're emotionally stunted child, and you don't fucking understand how any blah blah blah, and like even Stacy says this about you, even she has said that like you're a horrible person, and she knows that I'm right about everything, but I'm like, no. Good one, Chief. I was like, Jesus. But anyway, that was today. Christ. Why does she need the money? That'll probably never come up because that's just not my place to say. But hopefully the other guy can go get a job and they can work and be happy. And yeah, I explained the best. Is your money safe? Yeah, my shit is fine. Paperwork's already filed with the court. Even if it wasn't, even if she wanted to fight for it, which I can't imagine she would. I live in Florida. It's a low cost, or not low cost. It's a short-term marriage, less than 10 years, and Florida's laws are already disfavorable towards short-term marriages. Plus, you hit them with the infidelity thing. Plus, she didn't make any sacrifices to her career. We don't have any joint assets. We don't have any kids. Like the likelihood of like, even if she wanted to fight and like splurge like $50K for a lawyer, there's just not much there. I already called and consulted with 3 different lawyers prior to doing anything to make sure that like, do you think that like blah, blah, blah? And she's like, no, she's still been working. She's earned more money over and over again, but like, there's no shot. Yeah. But damn. Are you still getting paid back for the tax stuff? Despite everybody telling me one thing, I do trust my gut sometimes. The day before we went into therapy, I had like a 15-page document that I had made to get ready for therapy to go over everything. But the morning of, I was like, let's go to the bank and get my money back. Because I don't think this is going to help. And I was so right on that. Thank God. Fucking Christ. Oh. So I got all my money back. How's that guy broke as a famous TikToker? Don't they at least get high-paying sponsors and brand deals? Maybe, but the problem is he was famous like a year or two ago, and 10-year-olds don't have the most disposable income, so. Yeah, but I think that's all I got for now. I think we're good for now. There's no way you drove it to the bank to get your money back for a therapy session? Correct. We walked. What about the meme tick streams in Swedish? I think that he just streamed and he said that like there were lies about the logs that I released. Oh, okay. I'll say this much too, because that came up in the convo today. Because I was curious, like, why are you telling people that I'm lying about things? She's like, because you've been lying about everything. I'm like, okay, both of us have known. It's like standing in an elevator with one other person and farting and saying you did it. Like, what do you think I'm lying about? And Melina's argument was that I lied about paying for rent for her other boyfriend that she moved in without telling me. And she wouldn't let me explain anything because she just kept screaming at me. I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. So technically, Melina is correct in that. And technically, you could say that that's a lie. I didn't actually pay for that apartment. But I'm pretty sure what I even said, I think when I was leaking logs in chat, was I'm talking about the fungibility of money. What I'm saying is that, and I think I might have even said this in chat, is that if Melina lives in America for free and I pay for everything here, and then Melina goes to Sweden and she uses her money to pay for another person to live with her, well, it kind of feels like I'm paying for that guy. That's kind of the feeling that I got because of the fungibility of money. I'm pretty sure I even said that as much in the chat logs, but she was like, you lied about that. Probably to try to make it sound like I lied about everything, which, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think, yeah, I think that's like about, I think that's like all I want to say. Oh, I see meme ticks in chat. What's up, buddy? Oh, UML might be watching me right now. How's it going? I'm trying to be as respectful as I can as a human being, okay? It's hard. It's a hard, I'm Vyvanced out. That's the real reason. Thank God for these ADHD drugs. Because if I wasn't on Vyvanse, oh man, dude. That manifesto that I had put together like a week and a half ago, that was some spicy shit. And I would have filled that shit the fuck out. We would have gone hard. But I'm chilling. Just trying to like be a chill guy. Figure my shit out. Okay. You said you'd be okay expressing things that are big changes you want in a relationship. Would you still be okay sharing it? No, because it's all like really gay shit. Like every boundary, every new thing that I had is like stuff that's like so embarrassing to enunciate. I don't even know if I would ever say it with a new partner. Like one of the boundaries that I had set was that like it cannot be that you can never relationship dump or vent every one of our problems onto a mutual friend ever again. That was like one of the new boundaries. It's like I don't even want to say that. That's embarrassing. I shouldn't even have to say that. It's just like embarrassing to say. I remember like 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was trying to write out like, okay, well, if I continue my relationship with Mel, like what are the boundaries that have to change going forward? And I was trying to like write these things down. There was a friend that I was talking that I spoke with a lot on this. And as we were writing these down, she like slapped me, okay? As I'm like through like boundary 2. She's like, this is like the dumbest shit I've ever seen you write in my entire life. And I was like, and then she's like, write these like you were suggesting it to somebody else. And I'm like, fuck, okay, you're right. Because yeah, the leeway that I'm giving is like so stupid, but yeah, dumb. Yeah. Destiny, you said, normally I don't care about money, but after realizing that she had let that jobless loser move in her apartment for free without telling me, I felt really annoyed paying anything for her because I was basically subsidizing this toxic loser. Oh, base, true. Okay, I did say that. Shouldn't doubt my original statements. True. Okay. Okay, I think that's like, yeah. How much did all of this hurt you on a scale from 1 to 10? I think without getting like, yeah, fuck. Again, I'll figure out like what I want to say through shit. I feel like my initial worry was that like, initially I thought that I'd fucked everything up way too much on all the relationship stuff and it was all my fault and I fucked it. That felt pretty bad. Then I felt like, well, fuck, I feel like I'm losing my partner to like a clearly like manipulative, abusive, toxic person. That felt really bad. And then as I started to reflect more, I'm like, wait a second. I feel like I'm like stuck in like this insanely toxic, one-sided, stupid, crazy, fucking wild show. And then when I started to go through like situation after situation after situation after situation after situation after situation with other friends, I'm like, this is fucking wild. And then past that, I was like, well, hold on. This is retarded. I could do so much better than this. And then that's when I realized I'm like, because then I take stock in the rest of my life. I take stock in my friendships, my hookups, my everything else. And I'm like, everything else is like going so exceedingly well. This is like one source of like insane drama and tension and misery for my life. That at that point, it actually feels fine, I think. Yeah, I can like bounce. Yeah. So I actually feel that when I said over the past like week or two, where I'm like, I feel fine. I wasn't like coping or lying or like trying to mask myself. I legitimately do feel fine because I'm like, past this, like the idea that I can like go out at night, I don't have to worry about like if I don't text somebody overnight, they're gonna lie and say I ghosted them for 5 days and tell everybody that I'm like being abusive. I don't have to worry about like, did I tell somebody like the right information about a person ahead of time, or else they're gonna say it's cheating if I told them the like something different. Like there's just like it's just like so simple in terms of navigating my life right now that I don't have to worry about like getting in trouble or getting screamed at or having like 50 million retarded fucking things happen. Yeah. Last week you said you'd be open to getting back together. Is that still an option? Probably the only way I would consider getting back together is if Melina comes to me with a medical slip showing that she got a lobotomy, and then I would consider it. But yeah. Yeah. Bring up the suicide riz. Sadly, I only used regular riz. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out where my character is at right now. Hold on. I'm not getting baited. I'm not going to get baited. I'm not going to get set up. I do the setup now, okay? I do the setups now. I'm in control again, all right? Yeah, okay. How did it take you 3 years to realize all of this? How did it take you? I think it was just the initial problem. I think I guess if you vibe with this problem, the reason why I don't like talking about this problem though is because somebody in chat said this correctly, and it is true. Most of the people that say this are the exact opposite. Melina did this a lot. When somebody's like, I give so much to everybody around me, I'm taking care of other people all the time, I wish somebody would just like take care of me for once and blah, 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 blah. 99% of the time people say shit like this, they're like, you are the energy vampire in the room, okay? Everybody is falling into the black hole of your energy sucking, okay? Like, it's really fucking annoying to hear people say that. But yeah, I would say that my issue was my biggest issue in my prior relationship, and this is 100% my fault. And actually, I did do this a lot in public relationships, but I've gotten better about it, is the boundary setting. Where if there's an issue, I just assume that it's always my fault. And then if they make a mistake, I assume that it's still my fault because they made a mistake because of something I did. And then I'll give like infinite allowance for my partner to make infinite mistakes. And then I just assume that all of them are my fault because To be fair, like Mel also drilled that into my head a lot, and all of our mutual friends drilled that into my head a lot. Steven, she's traumatized because you did this. Steven, of course she feels this way because 4 years ago you did this. Well, of course she's going to say that. 3 years ago this happened. Well, of course she still feels this way. 5 years ago you did this. Of course. And I'm like, fuck me, maybe, yeah. Maybe like the 400th mutual friend that Melina has dumped our entire relationship to that now doesn't want to be friends with me anymore. Maybe this is also my fault. Yeah, maybe every single thing, like that's like the cycle that I was in, which feels retarded. And I say this humblingly or arrogantly, I guess. I should be smarter than this. Yeah, but now that I'm like out of it and I look back in retrospect, I'm like, obviously this is stupid. Like, why the fuck would I? Yeah, but yeah, okay. Are you gonna let that meme ticks guy trash talk you in your chat? Listen, meme ticks is the one that's sitting next to the atomic bomb right now. So listen. I got a ton of healthy friendships and relationships in my life right now, and every single person that Melina has ended up walking away from, she has demonized the fuck out of to every single person in her life, including people that never deserved it, which is the vast majority of people in my life, including Eris, including Darius, including Vera, including at one point in time, basically every mutual friend that I've ever had that has stopped showing up on stream. Yeah, so listen, Godspeed. Are you ever going to go on people like Brittany that bought that one-sided shit hard? Nah, I don't care. Nuke me, bro. You have Nuthin. Well, if you're inviting it. No. Nah. I have to think about like everything that I want to put in. I'll do one meme, okay? We'll do one meme, and then I have to think about like what I want to talk about, what I don't want to talk about, okay? No, fuck, I shouldn't. No, fuck. I know I shouldn't. Because I know there are things that if they make any statements at all, they're going to lie about. And I think I want to let them lie first. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm sorry. We'll just chill. Because I don't know why. I don't know how this happens. Everybody that gets close to me, including Melina, they always like think I'm so stupid. And I guess for a long time I am. But then they'll lie about things or they'll do things. And it's like, do you really think I don't know that this is happening? Or you don't think I've talked to this person? Or you don't think that I've seen this thing? Or you don't think I might be logged into this thing? Or you don't think I might not know about this? Like, it's so stupid. And I've even explained to Melina in the past, like when I know somebody's lying, like I'll let them lie and like see where it goes and see what happens or whatever. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why nobody takes me seriously or does anything. So yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. I don't know. Who knows? Stupid. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I feel like I'm I think that's all I got for now, I think. How does it feel to edge 15K people? I hope it feels great because I got my meds refilled this morning. I got a new prescription for 60 milligrams of Vyvanse, 30 days for my first one, 90 days. I feel great, okay? If your phone is open but you have sock puppet accounts, how does that work? I have no idea. The fucking AOT memes. I mean SNK, sorry. Been here since the Larva Lounge. Met you at San Jose Meetup 2018, and you don't let me buy you ice cream. I gotta hug you, and you grabbed my fupa. Nice. Cute. Okay. Why do you think, oh my God, a medication question? Why do you think it took you this long to think about and seek stimulant treatment for ADHD? What triggered it? Honestly, a friend just offered me the medication for a week, and I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. And I was like, oh shit. How are your relationships with your mutual friends? Right now, really good. All of my, yeah, all of my friends are like super good, super chill. Thoughts on Trump being removed from the Colorado ballot? Pretty big memes. That's going to the Supreme Court soon. Hopefully they rule on it pretty quickly. Thanks for making a dumbass 22-year-old like me actually care about having a consistent belief system grounded in reality. Genuinely grateful for your content. Thanks, buddy. Does it matter if Colorado's ruled to ban Trump on the 2024 ballot? Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. That's going it's going right to the Supreme Court. As a guide, we have to accept there will be some shit thrown / broken, at least some pushing / shoving, screaming, and other behavior that would be super problematic if a guy did it. I'm in this situation right now wondering, oh, this is another thing I figured out. I hope I can do this. There's got to be like sane women, okay? I think that screaming and touching or throwing, I think those should be like relationship deal breakers. I think you should get like maybe one of any of those, and then after that you can walk. That shit is wild to me. I can't believe I fucking let people do this shit. Fuck me. I think that's a good walk thing. Every woman does this. There's no way that every woman does this. I don't believe that. Can you define screaming? When you're in an area and then the other person starts screeching as loud as they can to make you shut up, knowing that if they keep doing it long enough, the cops will be called. I don't mean like somebody's like, no, I don't mean like somebody like raising their voice, like shouting. I don't know how to explain this. I'm sure men might do this too. I've only dated women, so I've only seen women do this. And not everyone I've dated has done this, by the way. Because this is ultra unhinged shit. But like when people are arguing, like, oh, you're like shouting and blah, 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 that kind of thing, that's different than like, yeah, the high pitched, like where you're just like screaming to make the other person shut up and then to eventually get either the cops called or somebody to come and knock on the door. Yeah, that's a manipulator 101 thing. 100%, yeah. I think that's like I think you should get like one of those. I'll grant maybe even a once per year, once per 2 years. I think you get a 1 per 2 years of those. And then maybe like a once per 2 years throwing something, I think. Maybe. And that's it. Past that, too much. Yeah, but I think raising your voice is fine. I think that's okay. I think, yeah. Yeah. What are they playing, League of Legends? 10, all bets are off, you know? I have a literal recording of Destiny saying he hopes I off myself. Yeah, I definitely said that. Yeah, and I do. Listen, I just want you to be a man of your word, okay? If you're going to threaten to kill yourself, I think you should follow through, okay? I think that's fair. I feel like I hear music somewhere. Oh. Tristana would never scream at you. True. This dude is wilding in your chat. How are you threatening me with the ban? Oh, listen, we're just chilling, okay? Invite him onto Discord to debate? No. I blocked him on Discord a long time ago. You want to know the? I'll do one more meme, because I'll probably include this. One of the wildest things ever is so obviously as Melina has cut more and more people out of my life because she's ruined these relationships completely for me because she decides at some point that, oh, I'm going to invent every single part of our relationship drama for the past 5 years to this new girl that Steven is talking to for who knows what reason. But I'm sure there's a good justifiable reason why she does it. Yeah, and sometimes I'll ask her, like, hey, don't you think that you were, like, totally in the wrong in this, and maybe you should, like, talk to this person so I don't have to, like, never see them again? And she's like, no. Yeah, after, I think it was, like, the day after the Tim dude got caught doing, like, the 5th, like, manipulator abuser 101 tactic thing, Melina was like, maybe everybody would be more comfortable if you reached out to him and chatted, just so that he feels, like, more comfortable with you. And I'm like, why the fuck would I do this? And she's like, well, you know, and then it's like the whole, like, you've traumatized me because of 5 years of stuff and you've done all this stuff and it's like you've made me feel so bad and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, fuck it. So I actually reach out and we have like 2 days of like autistic fucking conversations. And I'm just thinking, like, why the fuck am I don't even know why the fuck I'm entertaining this conversation. And then afterwards I asked Melina, like, do you think you can, like, talk to any of my friends, you know, the relationships that you've ruined for the girls that didn't threaten to kill themselves? And Melina's like, maybe in 2 months I'll think about it. I'm like, okay. Based. Jesus. Oh my God. Good times. Why did you let it get to that point? I already explained this, like, over and over again. I just, like, I mind fuck myself into thinking, like, I guess it really is all my fault because I have done, like, shitty things. Don't let me mislead you. I've not been a perfect partner in this relationship. Like, I've definitely made mistakes. Like, yeah, definitely. I fucked up for sure. You hurt Mel so much. Why does she stay in a relationship with you? Isn't she half the relationship? I have, like, theories on that, but I don't know if I'll ever share those. But it's literally, I'll help you. Let me send you down a good road. Okay. Go look at every single thing the Red Pill has said about, like, what Melina would want from me, and you can eliminate all of those options from anything you think it might be. if you want to start. Okay. Jesus Christ. I wish it was like, if it was just a green card or money, we would have no relationship issues, you know? Jesus. Does Melina know any big nukes that she can ruin your life with? Not really. Basically everything about like every single thing about me is public. I've seen her, like, threaten things to some people. Like one that she said is like, well, when we were arguing or when you were on stream, like, you said that Tim should kill himself. I was like, yeah, I tell everybody to kill themselves, okay? And she'll probably say that, like, well, sometimes we fought, like, you call me a fag, whatever we fought. It's like, I suck enough dick, I can call people fags. Right? Like, these are, like, the worst things. That I actually am into urethral sounding. Maybe that'll come out. Or what was it? Electrode, prostate, anal stimulation or some shit. Was there physical violence? No, there's never any of that shit. Unless she beat me up in my sleep. If there was ever a time of physical violence in our relationship, I will own up to this. If there was ever a time of physical violence in our relationship, one time, I think I was danger mode. I think I was playing League of Legends off stream, and I think I was on, like, my 12th loss in a row, okay? Mathematicians studied my OpGG for things that should have been more statistically improbable than the sudden heat death of the universe, okay? So I was on, like, my 11th or 12th one. I think I was coming out of my room, and Melina, like, walked up to me, like, give me a hug or whatever. I think I, like, get away from me. I pushed her away. I, like, walked to the fridge. It's probably the most physically abusive our relationship ever got, I think. that I can remember. Mr. Mitten said the same thing. Oh, maybe. Are you afraid that she might just ruin every relationship you have going forward, regardless of the divorce? Well, I imagine that, like, for... there's no way that I have, like, any Swedish friends, because every mutual friendship there is completely destroyed. I think her entire family probably hates me, which is kind of sad, just because her dad is cool. For her sisters or whatever, we're never going to get along with them. Or no, not even that, actually. Her sisters are fine, we just don't. But her dad is cool. Every Swedish influencer, anybody that she or Tim talks to, yeah, probably thinks I'm fucking unhinged. Oh, I never finished the one thing. Oh, to wrap a bow on all this. This was another thing that made me realize, like, fuck. Melina's smarter than I realized, or as smart as I realized initially. And she's crafty. And I really did understand what was happening the whole time. There's a lot of people gaslighting me out of it. That last night when she was on December 7th and I was totally fucking unhinged in DMs, those are the full DMs that she started sending to everybody. And I look fucking insane. And I'm like, fuck, that was pretty smart. That was pretty smart. I'll admit it. I was like, damn, I look crazy. But, yeah. Do you think the relationship was doomed to fail from the start? Kind of. A little bit. For a reason that I actually said over and over and over again, but I let her and everybody else convince me that it wasn't true. That the I'll figure out what I want to say on this, because I'm not going to say, like, it truly isn't like this is just me here to blow up Melina. I'm not actually, as much as I would love to do that, I'm not actually, like, trying to, yeah, I don't know. I think that me and Melina want very, very, very different things in life. Actually, you know what? Actually, I think I've said it a million times perfectly over and over on stream, and I will say it one more time. If you are 30 years old, you should probably date girls that are like 25 and older. It's really scary when you date somebody who's 20, because when somebody's that young, they don't really know what they want yet. And especially from 20 to 25, you do a lot of growing, you get into real relationships, you do all this stuff. By the end of, like, this maturation process, right, when you hit your mid to late 20s, what you want might be completely different from when you're in your early 20s. And by the time you've hit 30, you probably roughly know what you want. What I want right now is about the same thing I wanted 5 years ago, about the same thing I wanted 10 years ago. Like, if you look at, like, the history of, like, the girls I've dated, there is, like, a large overlap in terms of, like, personality types and shit. Like, I tend to like aggressive girls that are relatively intelligent, that are, like, very independent, that have, like, a very type A personality, that are, like, pretty aggressive. Like, yeah, like, all of these, like, things are, like, roughly speaking, yeah, don't, like, I probably socially left, I don't know, political views doesn't really matter much, yeah. All of these things are, like, roughly true. But obviously for Melina, because of the huge age gap, which, again, another red pill thing, people are like, oh, you dated her because she was 20. No, her being 20 was probably one of the larger sources of conflict in our entire relationship. Yeah, but I think her being young and then growing up and realizing she wanted something different was a lot different than me growing up, and it's like, I'm still growing up and I kind of want the same shit, yeah. Yeah. So I think you should always be, I think you should always be careful when you date really young people, because, yeah, anything could fucking happen, yeah. If you were to go back in time without knowing the future outcome, but with the personal growth and boundaries you have now, would you and Melina still have gotten married / her move to the USA, or would it have ended way before that? I feel like that answers your doomed to fail statement better. We got married so that she could move here. I don't like dating people long distance. I don't like, that sucks. That's like the worst thing ever. The reason why we got married was so that she could have a green card, so she could move and be in the United States. So I probably would have done that process again, because how do you do a relationship long distance? It's not even like a real thing to me. So that whole process probably would have been the same. Although the paperwork and the lawyer fees and the lawyer visits and all the shit involved in that was such a fucking headache. Holy shit. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good for now. What would that meme ticks guy have to say for you to go nuclear? Absolutely nothing. Like I said, I think 3 weeks ago, I thought that he was like the problem on everything, but then I realized that like Melina is so much more in control of stuff that goes around, goes along around her that I realized. I was like, oh shit, very crafty, very clever. Which, hey, mad props. That's good. I respect it. I respect the hustle. Fuck. I don't want to talk about this again until I have like the shit written up that I want to say. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm just like looking for a question to make sure I'm not like missing anything that I want to say now, so I don't want to like stretch this stupid shit out. Are you gonna stream for a night? I'm proud. I'm gonna go finish watching Steins Gate. Why are you protecting her so much still when she isn't doing the same for you? Serious question. It's a matter of my character. And there's a little bit of an imbalance to where Melina shits on me relentlessly in private, and it's a little bit different when I do it in public. And I don't know if I don't know if it's fair to compare the two. I don't know. That's a question that I've actually been dealing with quite a bit, because she'll hold that over me a lot, where she's like, I've never done this publicly to you. That was part of the reasons why I apologized like 2 weeks ago. She's like, I've never done this publicly ever. And I'm like, that's kind of true. And that kind of does make me feel bad. But it's like, you have said this to like over 100 friends of ours, and I don't even know how far that information is stretched. So yeah, I don't know. Would you revealing the full stories lead to those mutual relationships being repaired? What happened when you tried that? For me to go to the level that I would need to repair all of the mutual relationships, I would have to give so many details about my relationship, which I'm just not interested in doing, because it's just like so much. I don't need to give like a whole personal breakdown, blah, blah, blah. I've already had, thank God. I've already had people reach back out to me that I genuinely thought, well, they did hate me forever, and I thought I would like never hear from again. And I've already had at least 3 of those people reach out to me again, like some people that I hadn't talked to for years, which was actually really cool, which felt really good. And they were like, hey, I just heard about this thing. Just curious, but this actually sounds exactly like what happened with me and Melina. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't even referring to you. And it is exactly what happened with you and every other mutual friend that I've had with Melina. Yeah. So that actually feels good. So I feel like if I could just like say enough to where there's going to be people that are either in Sweden and don't know about me, don't give a fuck about me, which is fine, whatever. Or people that are like really close friends with Melina, that will never believe anything I say, which is, I guess, whatever, that's fine. Here's one thing that I will say, okay? This is one thing that I will say, is if you ever hear anything bad about me, if you ever hear anything horrible about me, please, for the love of God, ask for a log or a receipt. Because every time, because I have had a lot of conversations with friends, and they said like, yeah, Melina said that like this happened and this person said this. I'm like, really? Did you actually see like a screenshot of that? And most of the time it's, well, no, she was just telling me what happened. And I'm like, interesting. You should have asked her for that. Maybe next time do it. Or they'll say, well, yeah, I saw a screenshot of the message. And I'm like, really? And you didn't have anything to say about what Melina said right before that? And they're like, well, she just showed me like this message. It was like, it was just like cut out. And I was like, you didn't even see the full message window? And they're like, well, no, it was just like this. Like, don't you think it's interesting that you didn't see anything that came before? So I'll just say that like, if you have like issues with me, or if you've ever seen me say anything, if you're a streamer influencer, if you've ever seen anything where it just seems like I'm being completely fucking unhinged for no reason, or a friend of mine is being completely fucking unhinged for no reason, you should, if you give a fuck about being honest or being truthful, which a lot of people don't. I don't even say that like facetious. Like some people just don't give a fuck, which is fine also. I understand that. But if you do care about that, you should ask for like more context. You're like, well, what caused this, or why did this happen? And if the context starts with 5 years ago, you're being fed horseshit. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah. It's fucking annoying. When you said that there are 50 Bob 7s, were they all as conniving as Bob 7? Because that implies a lot about the people. Oh no, there were a few of those. When I say there were 50 Bob 7s, what I just mean is that there are like a ton of people that Melina has dumped every single detail of our relationship to, that go on to like talk to other people or do other things, and I'm like, and then end up hating me. That's what I meant when I said there are 50 Bob 7s at least. It's just like unhinged, unbelievable shit. Like, why are we doing this again? Well, it's because you traumatized me 4 years ago. Okay, Because you cheated on me 2 years ago. Okay. Whatever. What about Nim? Yeah, Nim did everything. It was all his fault. Are you swearing off all relationships? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know if I'm dating again. We'll see. But like right now I'm trying to find a healthy work schedule balance, and like obviously this month and last month have been like fucking insane. And this month will continue to be insane until the new year probably. I'm trying to figure out like what I want my work life balance to be. There's a couple of ideas that I'm floating around in my head. But I also, now that my apartment is open and I can actually fucking use it, Jesus fucking Christ. Unreal, bro. Like half of this apartment, like girls weren't allowed in while Melina was gone. It was like an unbelievable situation. Holy shit, that she wasn't even fucking paying rent on. Are you serious? But that's I'll decide if I want to talk about that more or not. But yeah, now that I have like my full apartment available to me again, and now that I can invite people over, yeah, there's like a ton of people that want to like hang out and do stuff and shit. So now, yeah, I don't know. Well, no, I'm just gonna say no. If you're talking to me and you're a girl and you think we're gonna date, the answer is no. It's never gonna happen. Don't think that, okay? Because yeah, that's gonna be the new fucking dramatic shit that I'm trying to like figure out in my life. But yeah, I don't even know what, I don't know what that'll look like. Right now I'm just focusing on work, on fucking Vyvanse, and then once I get to 150, we'll get back to the gym. Or 145 maybe. We'll see how much weight we can anorexia off our body. Remember when you said a high value person will always be in a relationship? No, I'm pretty sure what I said is if you find people past 30 that are not dating for years, those people are almost always fucking crazy. And I still stand by that. Also, I am fucking crazy. Obviously. My life is insane. Why are you still trying to rebuild the bridge with Sneeko after he trashed you and your ex-marriage? Why do you want to rebuild a bridge with a piece of shit? That's kind of like, who the fuck said I was trying to rebuild a bridge with Sneeko? Can you give up on politics now? Start your Street Fighter / Mortal Kombat arc. Yeah, I'm on that. Okay. How much weight did you lose? I'm hovering at like 157, 156 right now. From 177 to 178, like 2 to 3 months ago. So we're eating disordering our way back to 150, but maybe 145. We'll see. We'll see how much we continue to lose weight. Listen, it just comes off easy, okay? What am I thinking? Any news on Israel-Palestine? They're still fighting. So do you now use Tinder or have a profile on it? Or I guess you do. I've kind of had Tinder in Miami. I've kind of used it on off a little bit, but I haven't had like time to like dedicate. And I know so many like cool people now that I'd rather hang out with than just like meet a rando in Miami Beach. And the few times I've gone on Tinder in Miami, there's like this crowd of people is like nothing that I would like ever like integrate with or would want to go with. It's just like a totally different breed of people here. I think I would do way better back in LA, or even the people I want to hang out with are like way better back in LA. Scott Bradley, Dustin, you need some bros that you can just burrow out. Goon party when? True. So no dating girls, but you said nothing about the homies. Let me love you, my little Cuban sandwich. True. You seen the fall of Minneapolis doc? Nope. I took speed and calm me down. Should I be worried? Take more. Did you cover the thing with the 10 nation coalition against the Houthis? I haven't done the past, like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, the past month has been a blur to me. I don't know how I've streamed as much as I have the past month. Everything's been fucking wild. But we're good. After today's convo with Melina, she said, I never want to fucking talk to you again. I'm like, okay, that's cool. See you later, chief. You look better with a little frame on you. 150 might be too low. I mean, it depends how much is fat and how much is muscle. Listen, if you start lower, you give yourself a little bit more wiggle room for the gains, okay? New dream manifest from German to Trump. Yeah, we'll probably watch this tomorrow. What is the traumatizing thing? You keep repeating it. What traumatizing thing? Are you black-pilled on dating now? No. But also, like, my life and everything that goes on is like, it is like very peculiar and like very weird. So like, yeah, I don't even know who would like slot in well to my life. I have no fucking idea. Do you agree with the perspective that ridiculing religion is okay and good, but not other people following it? I don't know. Think about it more. You keep repeating that Mel says you traumatized her. Yeah, she says that me lying or cheating like traumatizes her. That's what she said. Yeah. Why the fuck are you not gymming at least a little to cut out so much muscle? Well, because I have friends over and I am trying to stream as much as I can, and I'm trying to manage all my interpersonal drama. And if I gym at the same time, I basically like I either have to cut 2 hours out of my stream or I have to just like not hang out with my friend at all, which is like really rude. Did she throw around psych terms? Yeah, about a year ago, Melina started using all the psych terms, saying that I'm gaslighting, that I'm denying her reality, that I'm abusive. Yeah. Remember, there's no such thing in relationships as people being mean. It's always abusive. It's always abusive. Don't forget that. Did you actually cheat, or is it just her reframing? No, I've definitely cheated. 100%. Absolutely. But like, oh fuck, how do I want to? Okay. Here is what I'll say, okay? Sometimes it feels like a lot of the rules that exist in our relationship are set up for me to fail. Let me put it that way. So, for instance, Mel could theoretically. So, like, here's a thing that we've said before on panels, right? If you want to hook up with somebody, both partners have to have somebody to hook up with ahead of time and blah, 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 blah. In reality, there's actually like 5 million different rules that I have to follow. I have to say it ahead of time. That person has to also say it to Melina, I guess. Melina has to be in good standing with this person. They can never have said anything that is even possible to interpret as bad about at any point in time. I have to tell her right after it happens. I have to respond to her text enough during the day that it happens. There's like a million different qualifiers where if I don't do any one of these, it's like game over. So like, for instance, like this has happened several times. I might tell Melina, hey, there's a girl that I'm going to see. I'm flying to San Francisco, probably going to hook up with this person, blah, blah, blah. And if I do that, and if we hook up and then I go to sleep and I wake up the next morning and then I tell her, that's cheating. She'll be like, why did you lie and hide this from me? And I'm like, so like, I'm not going to get into like all the details of all of these, but like that would be an example. Now, there was at least one time where I majorly fucked up. The other person majorly fucked up as well. Okay. It was all a fuck up, but there was like a ton of like these little bumps that like happened along the way that were very fucking annoying because on Melina's end, she might be traveling through Europe with 2 guys and they could be fucking the whole time and she won't tell me unless I ask. I'm like, did you guys like end up hooking up? And she's like, oh yeah, we did. I'm like, okay. I don't really care, but it's like the imbalance is like very fucking annoying. And that was like a theme of our relationship, like over and over and over again, where there's like 52 million different qualifiers on like my end. Otherwise I'm like fucking up. Yeah. That was a really annoying thing to deal with because then the perception is every time we talk publicly is always like, oh yeah, like Steven is a cheater and a liar and he's done these horrible things. And Melina cheated and lied plenty of times in our relationship. I just don't give a fuck because I don't care. Like I remember one story where I don't know if these matter as much. Like I remember this time where Melina was like, I don't want you to hook up with this girl on the last day that you're there because we're gonna hang out the next day and it makes me feel weird. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, stupid but sure. And then I don't. And then she calls me that night and she's like crying. This is like 4 years ago, I think. She's like crying. She's like, oh my God, like I told you not to. And then I hooked up with 2 people and I'm so sorry and I cheated. And I'm like, I don't even give a fuck. I don't know why you care about this. Like we're in an open relationship. Why the fuck would you care? I'm annoyed that I didn't fuck it the last night, but like, who cares? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, but that was like, this is like the level of like stupid shit that is like existing on like both ends of my relationship. I'm like, what? Like, this is so fucking retarded. I will say how did you fuck so much under that? Well, because eventually what would happen is I would hide things. I would just like stop saying things. I would stop talking or whatever. Yeah. Holy shit. Sorry. My friend just got a #1 victory royale on the PSP? Switch. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, here's something that I would give advice to other people for, especially now that I can like do my own relationship in the future. Here's something I would give advice to other people for, and something that this is like a boundary that I'd had for Melina when I let everybody mindfuck me into thinking that she still wanted to be married to me. This was like, I think, one of the boundaries that I'd written going forward. I was like, if we're going to do an open relationship, which I'm only going to do open relationships, okay? If we're going to do this going forward, here's the new rule. If we're apart, we can fuck whoever we want, however we want, do whatever drugs we want, do whatever the fuck we want. And then when we come back, or if we're communicating, we like tell the other partner. And that's it. Full stop. And if you don't like that, it doesn't work. We're done. Because as soon as somebody tells you, like, oh yeah, well, we're poly, but he can't sleep over too much, and they can only have 2 glasses of wine, and they can watch movies but not rom-coms, and as long as the girl isn't too old, and as long as blah blah, like as soon as you try to do like any open or poly shit and there's like 50 million fucking qualifiers, I'm like, this is fucking retarded, because like every single thing is like set up to fucking fail. So in my opinion, in my uneducated opinion, because I've only done like one quasi open poly relationship, if you're going to do like an open relationship, there has to be like, if partners are getting like jealous or possessive or upset like that easily, then you have to be like, this is stupid. Like either don't do it at all, or like it's got to be completely open. Like it can't be like all the dumb rules. It's so stupid. In my opinion, that's what I think. I think is yeah. I think if you're gonna do like any type of shit like this, like both people have to be like very, very, very secure in like everything going on. Yeah. In my opinion. Leaked something about Dan. The kitty litter story was true, and he fucking lied about that the whole time. That was kitty litter up there. It's one thing to say, don't be sleeping with people who hate you and trash talk. It's another thing to set weird pedantic boundaries. And frankly, you shouldn't need to set boundaries because decent people would follow them. Yes, true. Well, kind of, like half true. Like there are some things that might be worth like spelling out, I think. Yeah. Now that you're free to talk, is it actually true that Melina slept with girls most of the time? I'm trying to think, maybe, because I was trying to share so many mutual friends with her. It was true that like Melina didn't have an interest in like fucking a ton of people. For some reason, like, yeah, the Red Pill people always thought that like, oh, Melina's like out there fucking like so many people. No, that was a fight that bled over on the stream, and that fight was very real because it was very frustrating for me because like Melina could like hang out with a guy or do whatever, and she has no idea if she's gonna hook up with him or not, and then that means I can't hook up with anybody, and more often than not, she's not hooking up with them, and I'm just like, well, fuck me, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, but I think that's actually pretty true of most women. Even women that I talk to that are in poly relationships, most women just don't fuck that much. It's pretty rare. Even for the women that I fuck, like if I had to guess, this is wild to me, but if I had to guess, like the average body count of like the woman that I fuck, because I've started asking now that I'm in the Red Pill space, I'm just kind of curious. It's like probably like 7 or 8. Which is wild to me because like, I'll be like hooking up with a woman. I'll be like, you seem like you enjoy this like a lot. Like when was the last guy you hooked up with? And they'd be like, oh, like I had really good sex with my boyfriend. He gave me off super well 2 years ago. And I'm like, why would you not be on Tinder like fucking every fucking day? I would be a slut if I was in your position. I would be fucking so many dudes. I would be eating loads every fucking night. But yeah, but it's usually just like, sometimes I go on Tinder. Sometimes I'll find guys. The most common complaints I hear is usually they're kind of like either pushy, clingy, or just like weird. They're like fumbling on some dumb shit, and then they like lose interest for a month or two, and they just don't like have that much of a desire. It seems like even women that are super wired for sex, if you put it in front of them, they'll jump on it and they'll really take it, but they don't like go and seek it out. I have met a few women that do. I have met a few women who's like, hey, yeah, like I just fucked 3 dudes, okay, yesterday. And I'm still lubed up with their fucking cum. And I'm like, hell, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. But most girls, yeah, are fucking, even the ones in my circle are fucking way less than I would imagine. But it's probably just, if I had to guess, it's probably just that because there's like a bigger risk for women on the sex part, they just don't seek it out as much because it's like not worth the effort. Like, fuck it. Also, probably because for girls, like most new partners are not worth it anyway. Because for women, like most new partners suck. Like guys come like 98% of the time and women come And one night stands, isn't it? It's less than 50% of the time, I think. Yeah, it's like cringe. So yeah, I don't know. You realize lots of women probably lie about it too when asked, right? Oh, true. My bad. Oh, actually, every woman I fuck probably has a body count of over 100. They're just lying and fucking all the time. True. My bad. Yeah. Was she not hooking up just so you would be able to? No, like I said, I just don't think that most women just don't have the desire for it that much, which is, again, like I said, I think it kind of makes sense because most casual sex or one night stands for women is kind of shitty. Most sex happens in relationships, and it's just not worth like the risk or the gamble or like the effort to like dig through Tinder, go on a date with a dude, see if he's like creepy or pushy or weird, and then like, you know, it's just like not yeah. Yeah. Do you think this happens because you were the first guy she's with that fucks more than her? I don't want to get into, I don't know if I want to psychoanalyze Melina's shit that much. Was your relationship poly or open? What even is the difference? Well, our relationship started as polyamorous, and then it definitely became open for reasons. And then I think it became polyamorous at some point, but I wasn't filled in on that. And then it became dead. Yeah. Kind of a wild ride, I would say. I wasn't always filled in on what exactly was going on with my relationship at any point in time, but yeah. What does a poly relationship mean? I think a poly relationship usually means you have romantic relationships with multiple people. Now, what that looks like in practice could be you live with 2 or 3 partners at once or rotate houses, or it could just be you have strong emotional attachments to people that you fuck frequently, or I don't know. Listen, it's all relationships, whatever you want them to be, okay? Is your relationship still strong with Ayla? Yeah, Ayla's cool. Who can we expect to come back and visit the stream now that she's out? I don't know who will be on stream or not. The problem is, so I've noticed that there's like pros and cons to like the healthy friendship arc, is that one, most of the girls that I meet and talk to now don't want to be anywhere near fucking stream because they associate with people like other people that are on stream that are crazy. And then two, as a result of me being with less dramatic people, there's not as much like shit blowing up for my personal life, except for like holdovers like Cherry, Melina, or Brittany. But that's probably fine. I don't think we need like the interrelationship drama. Although I miss it. And then now that I'm single, we could do it so much better. Guys, we could, we could juggle so many BPD chicks on this stream now. And we wouldn't have the wife blocker here. Oh my God, fuck. When did you have your first ever open relationship? Ironically enough, funnily enough, my first wife suggested we open it at the end because I was doing school and work full time. And I guess it's the classic story of, I was like, okay, sure, I'm schooling and working, knock yourself out. And then she hooked up with a dude, and I was like, okay. And then I hooked up with a dude. Let's get physical. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's go. Then it got ugly. Yeah, I don't know. Damn. People do be doing some shit. Damn. It was a fun time, though. I enjoyed it. You hooked up with a dude? No, I hooked up with a girl. I hooked up with my kid's mom. That's when I started dating Rachel. I was like, let's bounce. So it's never bothered you at any point? No, I just don't care much about like. Here's the thing. This must apply to everybody. In some respects, I think I'm pretty exceptional, and then in other respects, I think I'm really normal, and I'm gaslighting myself. Here's the thing. This is what's worse to me than cheating. Okay, if I find out, well, I say worse than cheating, but I don't care if you fuck other people, so that doesn't bother me. What I just don't want to find out is that you've been shitting on other people. That hurts me. I imagine that's got to be the same feeling as you getting cheated on. That's how it feels to me. Like if I find logs of you like talking a whole bunch of shit about me, and then when we're hanging out, you're like telling me that you love me, or you're like, you know, trying to be chill or whatever. That hurts. That's in my world, that's cheating. Like, the fuck? Why would you do this? Yeah. I know a Palestinian girl, if you may be interested. You mean Australian girl? Do you ever see yourself being actually poly, like multiple romantic partners? I'm gonna be honest. You know, one thing I've considered, if I could be like the poly side partner, maybe that would be like the perfect role for me. Because then those two people can go date whoever, and you just like tag me in for threesomes, or have the girl chill for a while. Maybe that's like my perfect role. Come hang out with me for a little bit, and get the fuck out. Go hang out with your guy. Yeah. I can be either the bull or the cuck, depending on how big the guy's dick is. Maybe I get multiple poly. Maybe I get the bull for some people, the cuck for other people, you know? Who knows? How do you not get jealous if your partner fucks other people? Genuinely curious. I don't know. I wish I could explain it, but I just don't process the feeling. It's very hard for me to empathize on it. I think I can sympathize on it. But I don't know why I would. I don't know what the feeling is there. Do you have a disorder? Yeah, it's called attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. What time is it? 9. Okay, I'm done by 10 for sure. Would you cuddle with a woman on a one-night stand? XT, what is the main fun there? Being only fucked does sound fun. So what is the thrill to seek for a female? First of all, I love cuddling. Okay, I'm on an expert level. Okay, S-class cuddler. Okay, I cuddle better than anybody ever been with, and then I'll fuck you. Better than most of the people you've been with. Maybe not everybody though, but yeah. No, cuddling and like being physically close and like chatting and shit, I think is fun. The ADHD meds made your marriage fail? Unironically, kind of yes, but that was kind of a good thing. Yeah. You're probably the little spoon too? Not usually, but I will be. Bro, if somebody wants to little spoon me, hell yes. That feels awesome. Why would I not? If somebody's offering. Of course. I suppose most men are not that cuddly, so for one-night stands, seek some cuddly time must be rare. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I don't know. I just don't think women are that interested in one-night stands, period. It's just not like or not that many are. Or it seems like the type of woman that is, they're either outside of my circles completely, or that's just an exceptional type of person that is looking for the woman's side. I think that everyone has some level of possessiveness over their partner. It translations into exclusivity when you feel the bond more strongly. No, I mean, like, I'll have like levels of possessiveness. Like, I can feel levels of possessiveness. So like, here are like things I could vibe with. Let's say me and my partner say, oh my God, it would be so cool. Like, Interstellar is coming out in theaters like next week. We should go watch Interstellar. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's say that my partner would go watch Interstellar with somebody else instead. I feel like, oh, well, that's kind of shitty. What the fuck? Like, I can feel that. Like, I'd be like, oh, well, this sucks. Do you get jealous over anything? Yeah, of course. There would be things that I could imagine things like that I would get, or I'd not even imagine. Like, yeah, there are sometimes if like or if you want to hang out with your partner and they're like, well, actually, I want to go hang out with this person instead, or whatever. Like, oh, well, fuck you. Yeah, like I think that would, yeah, for sure, 100%. Do you cuddle after a threesome? How does that even work? Usually it's guy sleeps in the middle, both girls are on each shoulder. That's the dream. And then you do that for like 5 minutes, and then you tell everybody to get the fuck away because the temperature increases like 120 degrees. And you're like, time to move. Why movies but not sex? I see it as like, damn, why would you want to fuck someone other than me? The same way you were like, why would you want to? Well, if we like scheduled sex, if I'm like, hey, I really want to fuck you tonight, and then your partner's like, I'm gonna go fuck somebody else tonight, then I would probably feel really shitty. I'd be like, the fuck? But like, if you're not like scheduling sex all the time, if you're not like, yeah. Yeah, imagine you tell your partner, do you want to do on the Rift? And they're like, I'm busy. And then you find out they're like, not even solo queuing, but they're doing with another support. The fuck? Like when Mutin would go hide on his ult and duel with another AD carry? Who's Diamond 1? Like, excuse me? Do I shoot every message on here on YouTube and stuff? I feel like it's possible. I do my best. I do my best. Perry Lawrence, $10. How do you ask a girl about / for an open relationship if you / her have never been in one before? I think that open relationships probably have to start at the beginning. I cannot imagine opening up a relationship without it always being a disaster. Well, it won't always be a disaster. You would either ask and then it would be okay, or you'd ask and then your relationship would end if they don't want to do it, because now you fuck shit up. I feel like asking somebody if you want to do an open relationship is like going up to a girl and saying, I really want to fuck the shit out of your best friend. Can we have a threesome? And if she's like, no, now you're fucked. That's what it feels like. Yeah, I don't know. Do you feel like your views on relationships or sex have become jaded over time? No, I don't think so. I like relationships. I love relationships. There's a reason why I've been dating basically every single month of my life since I was 17, okay? I like being with people. I like having somebody to sleep next to. I like having somebody, like, when I walk in my apartment, I want to, like, touch somebody or, you know, give somebody kisses or, yeah, I don't know. I think that having somebody around is, like, super ultimate, like, ultra fulfilling. Like, living alone for weeks and months and, like, not having, like, just another, like, warm, cuddly body to share space with would drive me insane. I feel like I just sent, like, half of you down, like, a fucking suicide route. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But, damn, yeah. Get a dog. Or you can get a dog or a cat. There you go. Sorry. Why does it have to be the same person? I mean, it doesn't have to be. Okay. No, we're not doing this anymore. Repeating the same message 50 million fucking times, okay? How are you going to talk about the divorce shit when you go on red pill streams, etc.? I don't know. If it comes up, it's... but also, I don't even know how much more red pill shit I'm doing. I'm not sure. How much of your bad reputation of the streaming syndics is people like Hassan versus Mel shenanigans? I don't think the Mel stuff is that much, but the circles that it's in, it's big, and that's just annoying, I guess, yeah. I have an inquiry. Oh, cute. Nice. Do you plan on rebuilding the bridge with Sneeko if he ever reaches out? If he can chill for like 2 years, maybe. When did you realize that traditional relationships are not for you? One is just like fucking a variety of people is really fun. And then two is I hate feeling like I am like the sole source of somebody's certain type of attention. It is the most stressful thing in the world to me. If I feel like I'm the only person that can provide somebody's like romantic or sexual fulfillment, it's just like, that's a lot of pressure, because sometimes I get stuck in work. Sometimes like events are happening. Sometimes like shit. Sometimes I'm just on the mood. Sometimes whatever. It's just like too much. It's like way too much pressure for me. Even when I go to like events and shit, like I'll DM like people and I'm like, listen, because they're like, oh my God, like, do you want to come hang out? And I'm like, listen, maybe I'll show up. And if I do, okay, it'll be fun. And if I don't, just keep doing your thing, okay? But like if it's like, yeah, having like multiple people relying on me for like emotional shit or whatever, that's just like a lot. I don't mind doing it when I can, but doing it, yeah, like that's just, oof, I don't think I do it. I think that, does Vyvanse affect those feelings? Actually, unironically, yes. Let me say this. I will say this. Holy shit. If you have trouble maintaining focus or being attentive to a person when you're out to eat with them, bro, Vyvanse actually changed my life for that. Ironically enough, Melina is now addicted to TikTok. So when we were hanging out publicly, she was on her phone all the time. But I'm like zoned in. I'm like, hey, what's up? We could chill. We can chat. I don't have to pick up my phone like every 2 fucking seconds. The Vyvanse unironically changed that a ton. That's like a relationship saver. I'm not even joking. Yeah, holy shit. So the Vyvanse also helped me with a lot of fights. I don't think I'm irritable, like ADHD irritable, but maybe I am. I'm not sure. But being on Vyvanse, when I would get into fights, you know how I'd say like I need 6 hours to chill out, otherwise like, hey, I'm gonna lose it. And when I say lose it, I mean I'm gonna tell you to fucking kill yourself, to pack your shit, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna stab us both. Like I can't do this right now. You're fucking fighting. I think sometimes people think when I say like I'm gonna lose it if I don't have time to chill, I think people are like, I'm gonna be like, oh, like you're making me so upset right now. No, I become unhinged, like super unhinged. I'm not joking. But on Vyvanse, I'm like super chill. I like see through. I can see through the matrix. And I'm like, yes. Oh, I guess. Oh, I can leak this fight. So many of our fights are so fucking stupid. The Matrix fight that I saw through when I first started. This was when I was on Cherry's Adderall. I think me and Melina were talking about something, and I realized because I suck at one of the things I suck at is words of affirmation. I'm so bad at this. Not only am I really bad at this, I don't value it at all. It means nothing to me. I hate them. I'm a way more action-oriented person. I just don't care. I don't care. Unless you want to give me like a meaningful compliment. Like when, like if you want to compliment me something I worked hard on and you're like, good job on this, then I'd be like, thank you. But yeah, like having a partner tell me like, oh, you're so handsome. It's like, yeah, obviously you think this. You're not gonna say I'm ugly, bitch. Yeah. But when I was on Vyvanse, it was easier for me to kind of like think about this more. And I remember I was chatting with Mel in DMs, and I think I said something like, oh, like, hey, like I know that it's been rocky a little bit, blah, 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 but I just want to remind you like, oh, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And after I said this, Mel looked at it, and Mel was like, you never say this to me. Why are you saying this right now? I can't believe you're just saying this. It was like some shit. And I looked at this, and for like 5 seconds, I was like, what? This is why I don't ever fucking say shit to you. Fucking everything's a fucking... And I saw that, and I was like, you know what? You're right. I understand you're upset. Bro, the shit that I was like typing, and I looked at it afterwards, it was literally like the Neo picking the bullets out of the... I was like, I have no idea how I didn't fucking lose my fucking mind there. Yeah, so the message being, like, I think it's... if you do have ADHD, if you truly feel like it, and you're considering medication for relationship shit, unironically, I think it's like it could be a game changer if you've got like big problems with that. Yeah, unironically. Thoughts on brain-computer interfaces? Yeah, sign me up, Elon. Would you say that you have toxic relationships with online Muslims? Did you keep going back for more? Yes, I want the abuse. Do you think people with ADHD on average would perform better in an open relationship than a neurotypical people? I don't fucking know. Do you ever think about what your relationship would look like if the internet wasn't showing all the time? I don't know. My relationship style would probably change, or maybe things would be different if it wasn't so public, or like so my life wasn't so like hectic. Although I will say, it's on one end it's like kind of annoying, and like people will look at my shit and they're like, oh my god, like people have made 5 million videos about your divorce, and oh my god, like everybody's talking about. And in one end it's like it's kind of annoying, but then in another end, bro, when I get into like drama or fights with people, and it's like, and they start like they're on their shit where they're like, well, I'm gonna fucking reveal this shit, and it's like, you wanna get into a leak off, bro? What do you think you could possibly leak about me? Like that? No, like my whole life is on the internet. Like, yeah, I don't know. So in that sense, it's a little bit relieving sometimes, because it's like, yeah, there's not like weird shit that's like lurking out there. And I also feel like if I dated somebody, I try to keep it secret. I feel like there'd be like a whole drama over like trying to uncover like, oh, who's he dating, or who's out in the background, or who's this, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. That just seems like it'd be frustrating. But also, I don't know if I did another relationship. I don't know if it would be public or not. I have no idea. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it. I'm not even thinking about relationships right now. Yeah, fuck all that shit. This open relationship stuff and degenerate lifestyle damages you optically. Imagine how powerful you could have been if you were in a normal relationship and had a normal lifestyle. Just as like a heads up, if you use the word degenerate to describe anything, I can probably count on you having literally zero value to anything. You're so many levels away from where I'm at in life to even consider your opinion on anything that I just don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Farhad seems to be on Mel's side, at least publicly. Really? Been out of the loop for a while. Is the bench bureau debate still a thing? I think it's happening on the 13th of next month, I think. When are we getting a Coomer BPD drama arc? Yeah, that's not happening. Maybe you just have to wait until you find an epic politics-pilled girl with the exact same power level as you. Maybe feelings would be radically different. Maybe. Perry Lawrence, $20. Any advice to be in a relationship that feels more like babysitting rather than an equal partnership? There could be so many different things going on there that is, I can't diagnose off one sentence. I would say that if you feel like you're babysitting a lot, though, that's a big problem, and you should figure that out. Because fuck that. That doesn't feel good. You will never be able to hold a boundary with a girl if you can't even hold it with people working under you. Q lies about you on your stream and disrespects, and you don't even react to it. I mean, like, we fight a bit. Q is like he's my kick boyfriend, okay? It's like a work wife, okay? He's my kick boyfriend. Why do you want to have an open relationship with all the downsides? Because for me personally, almost all of those downsides are present in monogamous relationships, and none of the upsides are there. So why the fuck would I be in a close relationship? The biggest downside to an open relationship is feeling upset when your partner fucks somebody. If I don't care about that, and then the biggest upside to an open relationship is getting to fuck other people, and monogamous relationships don't have that. Why the fuck would I do a monogamous relationship? In the States, do you guys have CBT for ADHD, or does your psych only suggest meds? I think they normally recommend behavioral therapy of some sort in conjunction with medication. I don't know what behavioral therapy they do for ADHD, though. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if it's CBT or not. If you do date, would you break up sooner? I think if I did date, I think I'd try to find somebody closer by, because the international shit makes things so complicated. It's so complicated. Like, cause then you gotta marry people, get green cards, and like fly all over the world, and it's just like, it's so fucking annoying. I don't know if I would ever do that again. Also, fuck Europeans. Are you aware the casual way that you approach sex is psychologically destructive for women on a biochemistry level? Please look into the reaction of female brains have during sex. Pretty sure everybody makes oxy, whatever the fuck tocin that shit is. We all make it, dude, in a lot of different activities. Good luck. Thoughts on the Darius Xena drama? Yeah, I don't know. They're just whatever. They're doing their thing. If you ever went broke and had to get a job, do you think it'd be difficult with your history on the internet? Probably, maybe. Depends on the type of job you get. I have a hard time believing that like McDonald's is gonna look up your internet background. You should go on that show, that finance show Boogie went on to show everyone how it's done. That would be weird. Okay. Would you say overall, would this entire relationship be a net positive or a net negative? The way that I view things is, as long as you're learning the whole time, then things are a net positive. As long as you're always learning about yourself and about things, then I think things are a net positive. Also, I think for Melina, Melina had a lot of really good traits, and there are a lot of things I enjoy about her, and I still maybe do. Yeah, I had like a lot of fun with her. I traveled probably more with her. I traveled more with her than any other person in my life combined. I probably learned a lot about a ton of different things in relation to just like a lot of like drug stuff, a ton of like different like travel related stuff. I went to places and did things I probably never would have done before. Yeah, I think I appreciate all that. Maybe you do a solo mushroom trip. Fuck that, bro. I can't do that. That one mushroom trip fucked my mind. I tried to have a mushroom with a friend like 4 months ago, and I was telling her like, listen, I'm the 10-gram guy, okay? Let me guide you through these mushroom trips. And I think she did 2, and I think I did 3. Because I had just done LSD like a week ago, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's like, it all hits the same shit. So if I did LSD a week ago, I should be able to do 3 no problem. And I remember like an hour and a half into mushrooms, I'm like standing in the corner of the room, like shivering, and I'm like, I want to go. Can you please make me not high anymore? Do you have any Xanax? I'm like fucking, I felt so bad for my friend. Fuck me, dude. Jesus Christ. VMTix does try to drop a nuke. It's mostly going to be all the memes we've heard before. False and trying to build a narrative. They won't say anything. Trust me. We should do a 24-hour league marathon stream to celebrate. Maybe. Are there any drugs you've done with Mel that now give you flashbacks to time with her? I had it with an ex and it ruined mushrooms for me. I mean, I think if you spend enough time with somebody, you have flashbacks on everything. Like everywhere I went through with LA, I was like, oh, I remember driving with Mel here. Oh, I remember visiting this place with Mel. Oh, I remember seeing the Hollywood sign with Mel. Oh, I remember, yeah, that obviously. But that's like if you spend any amount of time with a relationship, you're gonna like every single fucking thing you see is gonna, yeah, of course. Do you take edibles at all? Fuck no, and I will never take edibles again. Marijuana is just not fun, and edibles are not fun. Edibles are either like chill and boring or traumatizing. Okay. If your debate goes really well with Ben, will you accept the contract with the Daily Wire? Yeah, as long as I get to also make a video on my own relationships. The One Piece is Q driving Destiny around in international waters during the best, or streaming the best content. Wow. Have you smoked on stims? No, I try to be very careful not mixing my Vyvanse with anything. Like if I feel like I'm going to do MDMA, I'll cut Vyvanse for 2 or 3 days. That's why I mentioned like a week ago that like, fuck, today is hard. Holy shit. Or if I'm going to go out drinking a lot, I'll usually not take my Vyvanse that day. I just try not to like mix a ton of shit because I'm worried I'm going to like set my brain on fire. Indigo Circle D, that's a cop-out. The fact women release this is an elevated level not seen in men is nothing to scoff at, especially when it explains patterns of behavior even you admit to seeing in women. Okay, Indigo Circle. I'm just curious. Indigo Circle. If a woman has fucked 2 guys and she's looking to get into a monogamous relationship that's going to last the rest of her life, would you suggest that she should fuck 9 more guys? Or would you suggest that she should stop fucking immediately? I notice that, like, people always want to try to bring up these weird, like, body count stats, but they'll bring up data when it supports them, and then they stop as soon as it doesn't support them. I don't know why nobody ever brings this up. So let's see if I can find this. People will bring up this data and they'll say the chances of divorce after 5 years of marriage. And they'll say if you have no partners, the chance is very low. Okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. You want to use the data. Well, that's fine. Well, let's say that you find a girl with 2 bodies. Well, I see that a girl with 2 bodies has a much higher chance of getting divorced than a girl with 3 bodies, or 5 bodies, or 9 bodies. So if you want to be really data-driven with your answer, are you going to tell somebody that's fucked 2 people that they should fuck 7 more people before settling down? Because if you want to use data, that's the honest advice that you should give. But you don't. You'll use the data when it supports your argument, and then you jump off into crazy narratives or stories when it doesn't. Like, it's so stupid. I hate these arguments. Also, I don't care. Like, they're dumb. Like, you're not even, yeah. People that use data when it supports them and then they don't is like, yeah. What is more damaging to the mind, having multiple sexual partners or playing multiple games of League of Legends? Depends on if you're playing ranked or not. What's your plan on Splinter Cell compared to Metal Gear Solid? Sam Fisher eats shit all day. Solid Snake clears. Have you ever tried DMT? Nope. Let's see. Did you take Adderall Vyvanse for the jank debate? Yeah, I did beforehand, yeah. Or like my normal whatever for the morning. Would you and Mel both get super personal during arguments? Yeah, for sure. We were both doing that towards the end. I shouldn't have done that. She shouldn't have done it either, though. Fuck, I wish... The only difference is that, like... Hold on, let me think of this. I need somebody... If I do date again, it's going to be somebody that operates on the same plane as I do. That's going to happen for sure. I can't deal with overly emotional people. I used to mistake this for a long time, and I thought that I was like a little bit emotionally dead or emotionally retarded, but I don't think that's true. I think I'm actually pretty emotionally in tune. I think that sometimes I deal with hyper emotional people, and that's kind of bullshit. So, like, for instance, I mentioned that one fight with Mel, where Mel was like screaming at me, and she said, like, every girl you talk to is a fucking loser, and the only people that are your friends are fucking streamers, and you're not even on your fucking medication. That's why you're fucking so crazy today, and you're a fucking loser, blah, blah. But, like, Mel says things about fighting, but, like, when we're done fighting, I'm like, I know she's just saying that because she's mad. Like, obviously she knows, because Mel would say some unhinged shit in arguments. She's like, every girl just fucks you because they just want to get on your stream and do shit. It's like, Mel, 90% of the girls I fuck have never been on my stream in my life. What are you talking about? Like, this is like, they don't, the insults don't even make sense. But like when we're done fighting, Like, I'm like, yeah, she probably just said that because she was mad. But if I insulted Mel when we were fighting, bro, that shit is like going with her to the grave. We could be in the middle of dinner and she'd be like, that one time we were fighting, you said that you like that one girl who was 28 more than me because I was only 23, and I think that you actually hate me because I'm too young. And it would just be like every single negative thing I'd like ever said was yeah. There are some. That being said, let me think. There are. No. Well, yeah. No. Fuck. Hold on. I'm trying to think if because then I was trying to think like, because like, well, what if somebody was like, oh, well, that's why like your dick is so small or some shit. But like, I would laugh like, the fuck you mean my dick is small? But also I don't. Yeah, but I don't give a fuck. So maybe I don't care. Maybe that is abnormal. Fuck. I don't know. Now I'm gaslighting myself. No, that's not abnormal. No. If your partner is saying shit, then they're clearly being unhinged. Then you should know they're being unhinged. And like, don't carry that shit with you forever. But no, fuck. Hold on. I'm sorry. Fuck. I haven't thought about this for normies. Because if you're fighting and your partner brings something up and you didn't even know about a particular thing and they bring it up, then I could see that being a problem. I'm just trying to think if there's anything would apply. Because like, let's say for instance like let's say you really like model planes and your partner goes with you to like model plane conferences, and then you get in a big fight and they say some shit like, this is why you suck at model planes. Like Jeff paints his model planes way better than yours, and I don't know why you waste your time on this stupid shit. I could see something like that being really hurtful. But what if the guy's really good at model planes? Then would he care? Because I'm trying to think now, like if some chick tried to tear me down on something, like if Melina said some shit like, oh, well, you're a pseudo-intellectual. You don't know anything. People just think you're intelligent. Like, what are you? Okay. Yeah, fuck. I don't know. Fuck. Never mind. Ask me. I have to think about that one. I'm not sure. Ask me in a couple weeks. I guess what I'm not sure is internally, like, can your partner say some wild shit in a fight and you just like let it slide and like fuck it? Or should the expectation be that if you say anything in a fight to your partner, you should expect that shit to stick forever? I'm not actually sure what the right answer is there. I don't know. I don't actually know. Do you think the relationship would have lasted longer if you made better factorial factories? Yeah. What are a couple things you could do better to save a relationship? I think a couple huge problems I had were, one is I just work a ton, which obviously is very little quality time. For a huge part of a relationship also, I had an issue, like, one thing that drives a lot of people crazy, I've had problems with this for a lot of partners. This took me a long time to fix. I only fixed this a few months ago. It's really hard sometimes for me to combine romantic feelings and sexual feelings. Sometimes these could be like in worlds apart. Like sometimes I can be like cuddling with a girl, and I've had some people say in the past like, oh, like it's really cool sometimes that when we cuddle, like there's not always like an expectation of sex, or like I don't understand, like we can do this, blah blah blah, and you don't even have a boner. And I was like, yeah, because in my mind this is not sexual at all. Like I have like very warm romantic cuddly feelings right now. Like I'm not even thinking about sex. So yeah, so sometimes I would get stuck in like that shit where I'm just like, oh, like I super love you and I want to like hug and kiss you and blah blah, but I'm not like feeling very sexual right now. That was like kind of a weird thing. Yeah. Isn't everyone like that? Oh, maybe they are. I'm not sure. Maybe that's everybody actually, and I don't know. I've been led to believe that's very abnormal. And it was something that I had to spend a lot of time reconsidering over the past few months. My ex had the face of a Rottweiler's ass. Okay. Do you think Millie's behavior was derived from a pattern of behavior that gets reinforced over time? Everybody's behavior is that, right? Can you finally confirm whether or not you were actually fucking secretly on that one stream? Okay. Now that everything is... now that we've moved on past everything. When me, Melina, and Max were streaming, and we were in New Zealand, and we had that device... Max said that he could keep the stream going and he wanted to check the stream. And me and Melina went into the other room. We closed the door and I passed the fuck out. To this day, we never fucked. I'm pretty sure that was the day on stream where we were drinking. I was destroyed. Yeah. I think I listened back to that VOD one time, and I think you actually can hear people fucking. So I don't know if it was people in the other room or what, but if I was gonna fuck, what I would say is you're not gonna hear it because I'm not fucking retarded. I'm not gonna say I've never not fucked somebody on stream before, but I will say that when it's happened, none of you guys have had any idea about it because you wouldn't know that. Yeah, that never happened. But nobody. Or let me hold on. Let me say this. Unless Melina fucked me after I laid down to go to sleep and I fucked in my sleep while somehow being blackout drunk and didn't remember any of it but still made noise, that's the only way that could happen. But I don't think that happened. Yeah. But there's, yeah, no, I don't think that, yeah. I'm literally getting a boner every time I'm cuddling. I can't help it. It doesn't mean I'm trying to fuck, though. Based. Fuck all of them. ADHD guy here. That honest feeling you're describing, you don't get your own time to yourself as part of the emotional dysregulation and irritability that everyone with ADHD has. Is because masking is exhausting and you can't keep it up forever. Another W for medications. Wow. Thanks, Pumpernick. Don't you think the biggest downside of a relationship is getting STDs? You just have people get tested beforehand. Does Vyvanse make you feel like a zombie or feel like you... No, Vyvanse elevates my mood in every part of my existence. Absolutely not. I feel like you're the type of guy that... I feel like you are the type of guy that showers you with love in the beginning and then after a few months you get super cold and then transactional push relationship kicks in, or how am I wrong? A little bit. This is something that I kind of have to like balance out. I'm still not sure if I'm doing... I do this a lot better than I used to, but I can come on very strong when I'm there, but then I can spend a lot of time working. And I know that this like mind fucks a lot of people. But it's hard to like have that conversation beforehand because I don't even know what the fuck to say. Like, hey, I come on really strong and you'll think that I'm like super blah, 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 but like I also, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Or I won't. And somebody will stab me and kill me. Who knows? How difficult was the process of getting a prescription at your age? Not that difficult. It wasn't that difficult, but I also have a lot of strong indicators of ADHD. Like a lot of like childhood behaviors, a lot of other people that can vouch for behaviors, a lot of huge discrepancies with certain areas and other areas. Like I have a lot of like super classic indicators. If you just go in and you're like, yeah, sometimes I feel like I can't focus a lot and I get like distracted easily, you might not get a prescription. I'm not sure. Or yeah, I don't know. But also maybe I made it all up and I self-medicate and I'm on addictive meth and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't you tell Dan a long time ago there were two things that can cancel you? Is it really not the case that Mel doesn't know those things? No, none of those things can cancel me. They're just like cringe, stupid things. This is dumb. Like if they had leaked, we'd laugh about it for like an hour and that'd be done. Getting divorced after 18 years. I know a ton of people in the same situation, all in our mid-40s. Not sure what is changing, but everyone has their theories on why people are splitting later in life. Are you a guy or girl? Eli is a guy's name. That sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Damn. Especially if you've like built your life around like a family and everything, that would be super brutal. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how I would figure that out. A few months ago, you were trying to set aside more time for her. Was that actually an issue? You only work about 8 to 10 hours max a day? No, yeah. If I'm not working, I'm also doing meetings or I'm doing emails or I'm doing messages or I'm always like working on some stuff. Yeah. Or there's trauma going on that I have to attend to. The past month has been super, super, super irregular. What is this? That would be a really good boundary to have, if that was it. I would agree with that. What was the biggest opportunity you gave up for Melina? I don't know. I think. Oh, we couldn't hear it. Oh, you guys got fucked. I just had my volume off. She just said the juiciest secret ever. I don't know. I feel like Melina enriched my life in a lot of different ways. There were a lot of bad things, obviously, especially in retrospect, that I said for a long period of time. But like, I don't think I lost anything horrible because of Melina. I don't think so. Would you get married again? I don't know. I'm not like a big marriage person. I think that if I was to get married, I mean, like, obviously if it's a foreign person, they need a green card maybe, but I don't think, if somebody wanted to have kids, I probably would. I think because it's like out of respect for that person and like financial protection and shit, you probably get married because it makes everything way easier. And more secure for them. Yeah. Blackpilling me on relationships already. Been dating for 3 years. She was 18 when we started dating and I was 25. Hope we change together well instead of apart. Sorry again. Good luck. That's a really risky age gap. That's a really risky age gap. Married 3 times, not a marriage person. Well, the first time I got married was for financial aid. The second time I got married was for a green card. What's the process been of undoing damage did by Melina to other people you know? Were you able to bring them back, or are they perma done with you? I think some of them have come back. The ones that were closest to me have come back. But the reality is the reason why it's called poisoning the well is because everything is fucked. If somebody has poisoned the well against you, it's probably really, really hard to recover most of those relationships. I won't even try. So... What do you think of 32 and 27? That's the gap with my girl. It's not really the gap that matters. I'm just saying it's scary to, yeah, dating people that are 20 is scary because they can grow and change a lot, and then you kind of like lose control of the relationship. When I say lose control of, I just mean that like they might grow in a way that makes them incompatible with you. There's nothing you can do about it, you know? Did you ever talk to DBDR on stream? I don't know who that is. He's a black pill YouTuber who has tried all your generic advice and it always failed. No, I'm good. I'm good. Probably not going to talk to many pill people. What's your sleep schedule like? I should be sleeping at 1 and waking up at 9. It's generally what I aim for. Do you have any good shaving cream brand suggestions? I'm just really lucky in that I've never needed shaving cream. I don't know why. Thank God. Thank the Lord. This is the most depressed I've ever seen Destiny in a while. Depressed and a little shook. I don't think I'm depressed at all right now. I actually feel pretty fucking chill. So make sure I've got everything out of the way before I do before I shut down for tonight. Or most of the stuff, yeah. Do the ADHD meds affect your sleep at all? When I first started, I'd say for the first 3 to 4 days. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It was really rough. If Melina changes her mind, which I don't think will happen, but if she does, would you consider letting her back into your life? Maybe. There's like... If Melina could full-on admit, and she's like, listen, I am manipulative. I can be kind of a sociopath. And I did fuck you over. Because you know what? You fucked me over a little bit. And I think you need to be fucked over a little bit. You know what? If she was honest about it, you know what? I respect that. I actually do respect that. Player to player, I see some of the shit you've done here. And if it was anybody else, I'd say get him. But that will never happen, so. Yeah, I don't think so. You need to take the AQ or the ASSQ under the auspice of a licensed PsychMD and then watch Syndectic, I don't know, New York, while viewing the themes like a puzzle to help embrace your existential crisis. True. The Groypers are begging for attention from DGG. Yeah, the Groypers have been like so thirsty for my community. Normal stream tomorrow? Maybe. Do you realistically see Melina changing? Is it even possible? I think the biggest hurdle for a lot of people to change, especially pretty girls, and this is the area that Melina has been stuck in for 5 years, will probably be stuck in for the rest of her life, but maybe not. I think the big issue is, and it's not even really just girls, it can be anybody, is sometimes people get a little bit too aggressive in seeking out people that validate them, and cutting out people that are critical of them. And as long as they can continually supply themselves with people that will relentlessly affirm everything they say or do and only criticize insignificant things, that person will always feel like they're the permanent victim and always in the right about everything. There's a lot of people that fall into that trap, and getting out of that trap is really hard. I don't know how, because in order to get out of that, you have to choose like a lot of friction to do it, which is difficult. Yeah. But, you know, what are you going to do? Or maybe I'm wrong about everything also. Keep in mind, I can make maybe I'm making everything up. Maybe I fucked up everything and I'm just, you know. Maybe there's about to be rape stories coming out, you know. Is there anything you regret saying on stream in regards to her? Yeah, I shouldn't have typed in anything 10 days ago. I should have been... Well, fuck. No, I don't have any regrets. Sometimes you just gotta let it fly, you know? Sometimes you just gotta wind it up and whoosh, let the sky dancer... Does anybody remember those toys? Please bring Britney, The Level, and Bubble Girl back. Fuck no. Absolutely not. Britney can stay in Britney World. And by Britney World, I mean the comet that passes through the Destiny solar system every now and then. They made a boy version of this toy. I don't remember what they were called. Do you remember what they were called? Where are my 1990s kids at? Or my 80s kids at? Dragon Riders? Is that what they were called? Fuck. Oh yeah, oh my god, you got it. Maybe? Did wait, have I told this story before? I always no, actually, fuck. My mom gaslit me on this too, okay? Everybody's gaslit me my whole life that I'm a horrible, evil person. I would always okay, I would always bully my little sister, okay? But I think that I'm like, that was what I'm supposed to do because I'm an older brother, okay? I'm supposed to bully my sister, all right? That's what we do. And I remember my mom would always say when me and my little sister would fight, Mom would be like, this isn't normal. You guys shouldn't be fighting like this. Brothers and sisters should love each other. I can't believe that you're blah, blah, blah. Like, she would always scream at us like that. And I'd be like, damn, maybe I'm like unhinged. But then I would hear stories about my mom's siblings. I'd be like, Mom, is it true that Uncle Rob like beat the shit out of like your like nephew or whatever and almost killed him? And my mom was like, he was on drugs, Stevie. It doesn't count. I'm like, what the fuck, Mom? Your siblings are crazy. What do you mean it doesn't count? But anyway, yeah. So the cool thing that you could do with these is, so my little sister would have sky dancers, and you pull the cord and then they fly off. And what you could do with these guys is you could tape the bottoms of them to the things, so that when you pulled them, they wouldn't actually fly off. And then I would just use it like a giant chainsaw, and I would chase my sister around. I go, vroom, vroom, and because they would like be spinning around, and the wings would come out, but they wouldn't actually fly off. So I just run around the house like doing that, and then trying to chop her head off. I thought they were base toys, okay? Anyway. Do you believe attending an all-boys school nerfs your Riz permanently? I went to an all-boys school, my dude. I don't know. We admit now that Mr. Girl was right. Yes, he's on his comeback, I'm sure. Do you really think people drastically change from ages 21 to 25? Go ask any 25-year-old. Yes. I had one of the girly sky dancers and I would shoot them at my sister. Yes, base. True. Thoughts on bringing back Lav? I think she's really funny, cute, and entertaining. Lav is all three of those things, but unfortunately, she's also far more than that, which is why Lav will live in the Lav zone. Do you think that you personally would get bored if your relationships had zero tumultuous fights? No, I just want somebody that like. Here's like a thing that took me a long time to figure out. I don't know if this is helpful for anybody. I don't know how many other relationships have this problem. Here's something that I realized was happening a lot. Was I felt like there were problems, and then I felt like I was the only one putting any work into it, and then I realized that like I'm spending. Can I make a cute analogy? Relationships should be like going to the gym, okay? Not going to the hospital. It felt like every time I would work so hard, often it felt like on my own to fix a problem. When I'm fixing the problem and we get back to whatever, all we're doing is like making the relationship not fucking horrible again. And I realized this when I was writing out boundaries for a new relationship, where it's like, wouldn't it be cool if I could invest like all of this psychological energy not into like making a relationship that just doesn't suck, but like in actually building something like really cool and fun and awesome with somebody. That was a big perspective shift as well. Like coming out where I'm like, I'm spending so much time and effort just to make things not suck. Like, fuck this. Like, it's so annoying. Yeah. I think that's like an important thing to consider if you can. Do you have any advice on starting a relationship? So many girls show interest in me, but it never goes anywhere because I don't know how to get my foot in the door. You literally put your foot in the door. That should be what you do. If a girl is saying goodnight, she's trying to close the door, shove your foot in so that she can't close it. Force your whole body in, okay? Be physically imposing. Be physically demanding, okay? And don't leave until she gives you everything you want. The only thing left to share is your body count. We know you keep track despite claiming you don't care about it. I'll be honest, I did keep track up to like 30, and then I was like, I stopped caring. Do people really keep track? That's cringe. Shouldn't say it's cringe, but you just like, what am I? Yeah, I don't know. What was it till 30? Well, right before 30 it was 29. Do you think girth matters more than length? Only when we're talking about your mom's tits. How old were you when you stopped counting? I think before I first moved to LA. Bro, that's cringe. Who cares? ADHD guy again. You were completely correct to stop meds before taking MDMA or alcohol, but it won't fry your brain. It just makes other drugs a waste of money. Stims plus alcohol leave you feeling you're not getting drunk at all. So it's very easy to poison yourself. You don't get the pleasant feeling or buzzy. Okay, thanks, buddy. Okay. Am I missing anything else in any other chats? Can I leave? Are we good for the night? The guitar in the background is so sexy. Please bring it back. Yeah, we'll get there, okay? It's there. Thanks, Eagle Lord, tier 3 subber. I love you, buddy. Why do you think so many of your breakups, romantic and platonic, end so messily? I have the same problem, to be honest. I feel like a lot of relationship endings are probably fairly messy. It just depends on how they end, I guess. Like, if you're both, like, long distance and, like, move off, then it's probably whatever. But, Also, most of my relationships are pretty long term. Like if I think back to my relationships, my 5 big ones, all of them were at least a year. It's pretty hard for like a relationship to end and like for it to not be like pretty sad. I would think, right? So at least one person still has to care quite a bit. You forgot some YouTube donos. Is it normal to have a big falling out with a friend you had for like 10 years? I don't know how to deal with this. There's no media example. It'd be easier if it was a breakup, LMAO. I don't know what your fallout was over. Did he get you fucking his cat? Or is he a racist now and you're black? Or did you... I don't know. There's like a million different things that I don't know. Destiny, Twitch is getting rid of its service in Korea. Lots of beautiful ladies needing a green card. Twitch shouldn't do that. Here's what Twitch should do. Twitch should legalize all the bathtub porn shit, put it in its own section, monetize it, and then they could use that money to keep the Korean section going. Boom. 2 problems with 1 stone. What you described with Melina reminds me of diagnosed NPD father. Narcissists gaslight to live in a delusion where everything goes their way. I don't think Melina's NPD. I think people throw on NPD. Listen, after meeting Max, I will never call anybody else NPD again, okay? Because nobody lives up to that level of narcissism. Holy shit. Yeah, okay. Listen, I love you guys. Does caffeine help with ADHD? I don't think so. So I wanted to say it's really nice to hear you say stuff about the spiraling or stalking. I sometimes feel like an idiot when I do it. Nice to not feel alone. Also, women suck. True. Don't stalk much, though. That's not a good idea, my friend. Not good. Some of the streams that you were losing out on, when I took like that 5 or 6 day break when I was what was this, like 4 was this like 4 weeks ago, was because I would be almost good and then I would stalk and then I would spiral. Not good. Don't do it. And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna stream today. It's like, well, let me just check one thing. It's like, fuck, why did I check this thing? Fuck. And then I'm like, done. That's it for the rest of the day. Now we're doing this for the whole rest of the day. Not good. Don't do it, guys. You should try dating a tradcon girl as a social experiment. I don't think I could ever handle. I just wouldn't. It would be boring. If you looked at any of the completion, not even boring. I shouldn't say boring. Not boring like they're boring, but it would just be so many levels of like incompatibility that why even try? Yeah. Get a trad girl and cheat on her. Okay, based. You won't drop at 9:30? Okay. Let's put this to bed once and for all, okay? How do you not tickle a partner who's tickling when cuddling and touching? Use firm touches. Don't tickle. How large of a factor was Mel's age in the failing of your relationship? Over 50%. It was the single most important contributing factor. But I mean, like, what are you going to do? Don't date young people. Okay, hold on. Okay. 950 right here. Okay. Okay, fuck. I'll take it. I get something for this. I don't know what it is, but the universe is giving me something tomorrow, okay? Fuck, wait, what is this? Wait, hold on, I'm sorry. Do we have memes? STV Philly tried to scam me. I have to respond to this. I was asking around for programmers to help with something I could have easily Googled. First mistake. Is show of force STV Philly? Yeah, I was looking for help executing a script that combs through YouTube transcripts and looks for keywords. I know fuck all about coding and just want help from someone who knows what they're doing. LOL, I asked ChatGPT to write the script. It did, but I don't even know what to do next. Sure, how much are you offering? I don't even know where to start. What's the normal rate? $250 an hour. Damn. I feel like if you knew what you were doing, if you were a programmer, I feel like you could do a job like this. My guess would be in less than 15 minutes. I'm sure this has been done before. You probably would have to, like, the biggest chunk of time here would probably be trying to explain to him how to use it. What he should have said was, like, how much is it going to cost? This is going to cost you probably $200. It's going to cost me $50 to do the job and $150 if I have to troubleshoot you. Like, that's what it feels like. Holy shit. Okay, but anyway, $250 an hour. Okay, Jesus. Do you have 5 minutes to chat? Okay, can I call you in 5 minutes? All right. I put out a feeler, and a guy named Sinbios responded, and we took the comment to DMs. I'll tell no one was looking for when he gave a quote. I immediately told him this might be too expensive for me. I felt like he was trying to rip me off after the 1K quote. I was going to call, but I don't want to waste your time. I can't afford $250 an hour. Sorry, no hard feelings. What's your budget? Well, for starters, I have no idea how much this is going to be. I'm making a YouTube video, and I need to find specific mentions of someone. The person's channel has hundreds of videos. So I literally have no idea what this is going to take. My budget is not limited, but if it's going to be that expensive, I just won't do this. Why would you say your budget is not limited? 1K seems like a half-day project. This really hasn't been done before? What would you even look at? Bro, I don't know anything about fucking programming. Okay, listen, all right? If you wanna figure out how to do shit like this, okay? Here's what you do, okay? Right now, today, if you wanna be able to do shit like this, okay? Right now, okay? If you go to a college, try to find a girl whose Instagram is private and only you can see the pictures on it, okay? Start taking her pictures, upload them to your Instagram one at a time, about once per week. Do this for about 4 months until you've got an Instagram that is looks pretty legitimate, okay? Make sure you copy the comments on every picture, et cetera, okay? Set a profile pic. Make sure that your profile is public, okay? Then, at the same time you make this Instagram account, make a Reddit account. Make sure that the Reddit account somehow vaguely references the name of the Instagram account. For instance, if your name is Sarah Ann Jean, call your Reddit account like SJean99 because you were born in 1999, okay? Now, anytime you've got an issue with tech problems ever, okay, take that Reddit account, make sure that your profile picture for the Reddit account is the same profile picture as your Instagram account, go to a comp sci forum and say, hey, can somebody help me? I'm trying to work on a script for this. Can somebody figure this out for me? The first thing every horny, thirsty motherfucker is going to do is they're going to look at that profile picture. They're going to right click it, open it in a new tab to see a new picture. They're going to reverse Google image search it. Then they're going to see if it comes up. They're going to find the Instagram. They're going to see that you're a real person. And everybody's going to respond to you with, not only are they going to tell you exactly what you need to do, they're going to troubleshoot it into perpetuity for you because they want to fuck, okay? Boom, all right? Do this, and then now you never have to worry about any fucking tech problem ever again, okay? There you go. But anyway, back to this world. 1K seems like a half-day project. Oh, wow, I might not be able to afford this, LOL. How much can you afford? I mean, it's not worth it, I should say. What's the threshold at which it's worth it to you? As you can see, my apprehension was apparent. Nevertheless, Sinbios pushed on, and we started to negotiate. Maybe $100, LOL, damn. If it's really going to be expensive, I'll skip this part of the video, LOL. Can you at least do 250? Yeah, if we can accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay, I need to scan maybe 2 to 30 vids for a mention of DJ Vlad. You just need timestamps for each specific keyword out of a specific list of videos, right? 20 to 30 Can't you just right click open the transcript on 20 to 30 videos? Can't you do this in like 20 minutes? Okay, give me the list slash channel. Okay, hold on. What's up? Can I get the list slash channel? I'm grabbing this vids. I would need to search. You don't need to grab them. Just give me the channel. I'll grab it if it's part of the work. Hey man, I got it covered. Thanks. What the fuck? I already wrote it. If you're talking to other people, don't agree and then leave me hanging. Scraped timestamps of a couple of Destiny vids mentioning love. Okay. I feel like... Okay. Needless to say, I told Symbios, never mind. Here's where the disagreement comes in. As details of the project were being discussed, I said, hold on, blah, blah, blah. I already wrote it. If you're talking to other people, don't agree and leave me hanging. Scrapes, timestamps, blah, blah, blah. I didn't see a statement of work, and we didn't agree to a contract yet. Oh, my God. Even ST Philly understands this. Yeah, statement of work. You abbreviate it sometimes SOW. Statement of work, deliverable expected, timetable, and then payment in exchange for work. I can't believe that the comp sci dude already did the work without. There was absolutely no clear agreement in here. Or I'm sorry, scope of work, not statement of work. My bad. Scope of work. Yeah. I can't believe he didn't get a clear agreement before building the script. Although obviously he probably did it in like fucking 10 minutes because it's fucking retarded. But also, are these guys like fighting seriously about any of this? Like, I didn't see a statement of work, blah, blah, blah. I said I could do 1K. You said yeah. And I asked for your inputs. He said, okay, hold on. And I'm grabbing. Oh, I said I can do $X. Implying you're going to prevent. I go, okay, bro, I don't know what you want me to do. I never agreed to any work being done. Destiny, this is a super casual agreement with a clear contract in writing in the chat there. It'd be hard to argue, but it has all the elements in a contract. What? Maybe $100, damn. Can you do at least $250? Yeah, if we accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. Okay. I need to scan maybe 2 to 30 vids for a mention of DJ Vlad. You just need timestamps for one specific keyword out of a specific list of vids, right? 2030. Okay, give me the list slash channel. Okay, hold on. 30 minutes later, can I get the list slash channel? I'm grabbing this vids. I would need to search. I guess maybe you could interpret it here, but like, this is like, all of this is like so vague and ambiguous. Like, this just sounds autistic to me. This just sounds like so fucking stupid. I don't know. The Reddit thread that the programmer made. He said he got scammed? This seems so dumb. He got roasted by the Reddit, so he deleted his post. Oh, shit. I really want to be on your side because I think Philly's a piece of shit, but I'm going to have to agree. You jumped the gun starting the project before very clear terms were set and agreed to. Don't get down, though. This is a very valuable experience on dealing with people and performing freelance work. Some people pay $250 for a seminar telling them what you've just learned. True. If I'm a landscaper, I knock on someone's door and I offer to mow their lawn for $25, and the response is, okay, hold on. I'm not going to just go start mowing their shit. Where I'm from, that'd be a strong-arming pseudo-scam, not unlike the trope of the vagrant washing windshields at red lights demanding money, but that's just me. Damn. He wants to chat on ban. Bro, I'm already supposed to leave at 10. Okay. We'll talk about this more tomorrow, okay? I love you. Yeah. Be careful. Stay safe. Repping on a cappuccino, pappuccino, cappuccino, 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 my Deuterinos. Catch you guys next. I should be here tomorrow at 12. He says.
cunningly.